I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Password.
Ack, a dack, a ack.
Enter, brother.
That's right. Come on in.
Rob Parker.
With that password, you now have full access to this very fine radio program for the next 3 hours.
Not 2, not 3, not 4.
Thank you, LeBron. No matter how you listen in, Fox Sports Radio, foxsportsradio.com, the iHeartRadio app, Sirius XM Channel 83.
Wow.
And now, live
We'll do it live
on YouTube.
Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
No,
do it.
That's right. Do it. Say my name,
Rob Parker.
Say his name,
Kelvin Washington.
And we are indeed the odd couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, on this Magic City Monday, show my ass Monday for Rob Parker, because I'm going to be showing it. You better.
Please, no more pictures of
No more
big
Parker
booty.
booty cheeks.
That's right. And you'll need our telephone number because we are, without question, the most listener-friendly national sports talk radio show on the planet. At least when people are still awake. Sorry about that, Ben.
That's the only time it counts, Rob.
You got to be up. You got to be awake. All right, write it down. Commit it to memory. 877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369 for you laymen who can't figure out the letters and the numbers.
It's not trigonometry.
That's right. And if you hear feedback on the line, it's your own fault. It only means one thing.
You forgot to turn down the radio.
And if you call in here and have a problem with what we say, tough, because...
Well, I'm talking to you the way I want to talk to you. You have a problem, turn off your station.
And with all that said, always remember...
Sweetie Beanie. Yeah.
Yay.
That's
Yay.
right. Let's go.
Yay.
A big
Yay.
show on this Magic City Monday. And let me welcome in my co-host. He is none other than
Washington.
That's right.
What up, man? And welcome back to the West Side. Welcome back
to the warm weather. My God, I felt like
Yo.
it was tropical when the plane landed. I was ready to strip down. I was so hot.
It wasn't because of what we're about to talk about? That's why you weren't ready to strip? Or was it the weather?
Well, that too. Because you know I wanted to show my ass.
Wait. Hey, Alex, I just watched the whole documentary. Not right now. I just watched. I finished the whole doc. I'm a little.
Separate work.
Yeah, it was.
And, of course, Kelvin is not in studio because he didn't want to see me show my ass in person.
I didn't. I mean, not literally, but.
Because Kelvin and we're going to get to it, but I'm fired up because I was trying to tell you something for a long time since you've been on this radio show, and I think you finally understand where I was coming from, and I'm hoping you get it. I'm hoping you got it.
Well,
we'll
get
get in there. But let's welcome in. Go ahead.
Yeah, welcome into Crew. But anyway, I was just saying, welcome back. Hope you enjoyed the trip, and I guess we need you to go to Lions games more often now.
Nah, that ain't had nothing to do with me.
Yeah. We need you in there, Rob.
But definitely the trip to Detroit and to New York, I got to see family, friends.
That's
it was
good.
really good. It was cold and everything, but it was really awesome. And still, there's a restaurant where we ate on Sunday, me and my buddy Ben and another mentee. Ben and I went to high school together. Ben Bon Jovi. How about that? That's his last name, Bon Jovi. Ben Bon Jovi.
This is in New York or Detroit?
In New York.
Okay.
And Jair is a mentee of mine from Texas. But anyway, so we went out. It's $55 at this restaurant called Legacy in the Moxie Hotel in Times Square. $55, all you can eat ribeye.
Oh.
Wow. All you can
wow.
eat ribeye. And they cook it whatever way you want it.
Yeah.
You start out with 14 ounces. All right. I put my hand, another 7 ounces, another 7 ounce. until whatever you want.
Whoa.
And
$55, that's it?
in New York. Can you believe that? So you get you just get the ribeye and you get fries. That's the meal. You know, and you can order other stuff. But
Right.
that's what comes with it. That's a great deal. All you can
They
eat.
had to roll you out of there. $55, all that price.
Oh, God.
First of all, 14 ounces already is a lot.
Yeah.
they start you off with a
They
lot.
start you with 14 ounces. So, of course, you know, after I said, oh, God, how am I going to get
Oh,
out of
God.
here? Yes, it was unbelievable. All right.
Put some in your backpack. I gotta go.
Yeah, I wish I could.
Oh,
take
you know he traveled with some, Alex.
No,
He got ribeye in his pocket right
No,
now.
I wish I could have. You know, you can't take any out. I should have
Yeah,
put
no
some in
to
a
go.
napkin.
Oh, God.
Next time I'm going to bring a hefty bag, a Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
All
you're
right.
supposed to slip that right in the bathroom. We go in the bathroom, put that in there.
Yes, let's welcome in the Odd Couple crew. We wouldn't be able to do this fine radio show without them. Rob G is our producer. Bud Mexican, there you go. Alex
boy.
is our engineer.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
One more time, Alex.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
Because I wasn't here Thursday and Friday, so I need to hear that again. USC Chris is at the anchor desk. He'll be updating. Chris, are you just working today, or are you going to be? Are you?
Nope, just in for Steve because he's got the Chargers game tonight.
Okay.
But
there you go.
Okay.
All right.
he's here in spirit.
Always.
And yes, I agree. You need to go to more Lions games.
No,
I was just up there with Thanksgiving for my mom. So
Yes,
my magic's
I want
broken.
you to know that I went there for 20 years. Okay.
No,
And they
hey,
didn't
stay
win.
focused, Rob.
And they didn't win.
Stay focused.
focused.
It's a new age, new
All
lions.
right, and Elijah
Never heard of him.
is our social media guru, so we have
Who?
that and much more. All right,
Who?
Rob G, let's just get straight to the Chiefs.
I don't say we get straight to it, but we eventually got to it.
We got to it. Don't
Oh,
worry
stop
about
it, Rob G.
Jeez
I ain't seen my
Louise.
man in a minute. Hey, Rob Parker, see, this what it is. Now Rob G getting comfy,
Just
sitting
laugh.
here, want to hang out, He's in the chair where well, we swap chairs, but see, that's now, Rob G, I can't talk to my man, Rob Parker. He's back.
Rob G, go ahead.
No, now
I'm just
you guys
gonna-
need
I'm
me.
just
Okay.
gonna-
Now
just
you
go
need me. Okay. So the Kansas City Chiefs been in the Super Bowl basically since Moby Dick was a guppy. Ain't looking like they're going to be back there this year. They fall to 6-7 on the season after losing last night to the Houston Texans. They will now officially have zero chance of winning the AFC West for the first time in a decade. And their chances of making the postseason are a blistering 12%. They'd have to win out and need 1,000 other things to break their way just to make the playoffs. Right now, it's the official end, the crumbling of Chiefs Kingdom.
No doubt. And I want to go here. And I told you, Kelvin Washington, I told you, Odd Couple listeners, I told you, all you phony ex-players who are analysts on television, I told you. Patrick Mahomes has not been the same guy for years now. And people have continued to make excuses. Even last night, they're still making excuses. 14 for 33, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns. And you want to talk about, did you see the drops? All the drops? I thought when he got all of his wide receivers back, Kelvin, they were off and running. That's what your contention was, that it was because he didn't have his guys. All of his wide receivers are healthy and all playing. And guess what? The last 4 games when they needed him, 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions. Why can't we acknowledge, oh, did you see Kelsey? That wasn't a well-thrown ball. It was thrown behind him. If he made that catch, it would have been a great catch. I had the nerve to listen to Dan Orlovsky this morning talk about he's the greatest player on the planet. Since when? You mean the guy who didn't get 1 first-place MVP vote despite going 15-1 as a starter last year? Come on. You guys are living in the past. The Chiefs haven't been good. I know they went to the Super Bowl. I told you last year. They were lucky as sin, and it all caught up to them this year. I don't want to hear any excuses about Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't played well. Why can't we acknowledge that? Why can't everybody else? Always the excuses. Oh, Andy Reid went for it on 4th down on a 31-yard. Oh, Kelsey, the ball hit him. Oh, Rasheed Wright, he dropped the ball on 4th down. That's all I heard. Patrick Mahomes didn't make every throw either. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the highlights? He didn't make all the throws, and he hasn't been making the throws. This has been a process. That's why I said before the season that they wouldn't make the playoffs, not based on because some hate. Where's all the Chiefs Kingdom people who were on Twitter that I was a washed reporter and I'm a hater and I'm just looking for clicks? Where are all those guys when I tried to tell you? Yeah, I'm sure you can't find those guys today because they didn't want to hear it, and I get it. When you get into fandom, you can't look at stuff fairly and honestly because you become jaded and you think everything is everybody else's fault. The last thing for you, Kelvin, the reason the Chiefs aren't going to the playoffs, are you ready, is
Why?
Patrick Mahomes. Not the defense, which is 7th best in the NFL, not the receivers, not Andy Reid. It's Patrick Mahomes is to blame. He is the reason why the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs. And go to YouTube and go see the video I said a couple of weeks ago. That same thing. The reason the Chiefs won't make the playoffs will be because of Patrick Mahomes and the offense. And that's why they are where they are.
The Chiefs are playing bad football. There's no way around it. They're playing bad football as an offensive unit at times. They're playing that being out-coached. Andy Reid, probably for the first time in his life, has to admit that he has not been – he's been out-coached and he hasn't been coaching well. Patrick Mahomes –
vote. If he was making the plays that I'm using your words.
Yeah.
If he made the plays that helped them win 15-1, why did he not get one first place MVP vote? Because you won't be able to answer it because what you're saying is illogical.
That's it. First of all, it's factual. I don't even know why you brought that up. I was telling you this all last year. He was the highest third down conversion by far last year and even half of this season. So he makes the play, the winning play. That's not debatable. We're talking about last season. You asked why he didn't get an MVP vote. Because Lamar Jackson, you remember, I sat up here and said it right next to you that he's the best player. Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen were insane last year. So him being 15-2 and being in the Super Bowl, getting to the Super Bowl, doesn't mean he had to be the MVP. Him making third down conversions, they were limited plays.
Listen to what I said to you.
He made the winning play.
You did not listen to what I said to you.
I'm talking about
I said why didn't he get one vote? I didn't say win the MVP.
I'm answering your question.
I didn't say win MVP.
Because the other guys
why did he get one vote?
Because the other guys, including Joe Burrow, were insane.
People saw him and watched him. They were 15-1 in Mahomes' starts.
Because
you just
his numbers were not great.
Why? It's about winning. I thought it was about winning.
You asking and answering questions. Okay. So then if you can ask, let me answer. So like I said, it's because he only made a handful of plays each game. Lamar was making 15-20. Josh Allen was making 15-20. Joe Burrow was making 10-15 a game. That's why he realized with his defense, kept him in games, don't turn over too much, stick around, I can make a play or two. And that is why those play or two aren't working this year. Those guys that make plays aside from him, it's not working this year. So there's no denying it. And they have to go to the drawing board and figure out what's next. Andy Reid has to figure out what next, the designing of the plays. Patrick Mahomes has to go to the drawing board and realize what I'm doing isn't working. They absolutely have to look at house. Guys, they may have to start. Chris Jones has played really well yesterday. Can we get something for him? Can we trade? They're going to have to look at themselves and really make a hard reset at some point. I don't agree that it's been singularly Patrick Mahomes. But
can I give you some numbers? I got numbers.
Go ahead.
Mahomes has a 68.6 passer rating on deep passes. That's third worst of the 36 qualifiers. Ranked near the bottom for NFL on deep ball completions, 32%. Want more? And while he's while being top 3 in deep ball attempts, 55. He's throwing them a lot. He's just not hitting them. And my point to you is, you sat up here on this very radio show when you talked about getting Rashee Rice back and Worthy and that. No, and you proclaimed that he was going to be the MVP and they were going to go to the Super Bowl because Patrick got his mojo and got his receivers back.
I absolutely did.
And that is what was stopping him. So will you take that back, that it had nothing to do with that? It has something to do with Patrick Mahomes playing badly, playing like trash.
Absolutely. I can't go trash. He is playing bad, without a doubt. They are bad as a team, without a doubt. There's no denying it. Their record is what they are. The close games that they normally win, they haven't. They put themselves in a hole. Yesterday, he's throwing some balls off. They're not catching balls. Again, Andy Reid being freaked out and doing stuff he doesn't normally do. They look bad as a unit. And this year is going to be a tough year for them to look in the mirror. Absolutely. I thought they would bounce back. They had a good stretch where they were putting up some points. Then it went downhill the last 3 or 4 weeks. Without a doubt, I was wrong on that. I have no problem admitting that. They look bad as a team this year and aren't getting it done. Especially, Rob, to the point they're losing to good teams, too.
877-99 on Fox. We want to get you in on this. 877-996-6369. Are you surprised that Chiefs Kingdom has come crashing down? And how much blame does Patrick Mahomes deserve in all of this? Because I'm giving it all to him. All the smoke, all the blame. He's the reasons why the Chiefs are trash and aren't going to the playoffs. It's Patrick Mahomes singularly, the same way we gave him all the praise when they were winning and he was making the plays to win the games. Remember that? We used to give him all the praise. I'm giving him all the blame, 100%. Not the defense, not the receivers, and not Andy Reid. We'll continue that conversation next with you.
That's a little too much of that blame,
is the Odd Couple, 877-99 on Fox, right here on Fox Sports Radio. And you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
Because Uncle Rob was right yet again in the US of A.
Chris Paul may have been a Clipper, and now this stint and been a little tough, a little demanding, very vocal, maybe disgruntled at times, expectations through the roof. My answer is yes. Could that have rubbed his teammates, the organization, coaches, president of basketball the wrong way? Yes. But you know what I say? If you're a record label and you bring in Kanye West, you know you're going to get some crazy stunts. You know you're going to have to put out some fires. You know, everybody has that certain family member. You know, all right, we love them. We bring them to the party, but Uncle Joe might get a little crazy, but that's family. And I say that to say the Clippers, he was literally a Clipper and maybe your biggest Clipper of all time. You know who he is. You know how he left. You know some of the issues with him and Blake, and I'm sure they patched things up, but you know who this guy is. You know the reputation. I'm not in the NBA. You're not in the NBA, and we've heard. He's demanding. He's hard. He wants to win. He's a lot in the locker room. Why are you now shocked? Why is this a surprise? Why did you okay the farewell tour? Why did you bring it in to finish as a Clipper, who arguably your greatest Clipper, could be your first jersey up in the Intuit Dome, could maybe be the first Clipper with a statue at the Intuit Dome area in Inglewood? So I'm more shocked that, yes, I do believe he might have been tough, might have had expectations, but this has been him. Why are we shocked? Why is this a surprise? And how did we land here where now it's ending ugly? For him, this is all ruined, and it's also putting a spotlight on you all, the Clippers, because now we're saying this is fumbled. The whole Kawhi Leonard experiment's been a fumble. SGA is now a star that you traded with the Thunder. He's a champion and MVP, and they still got all those picks you gave up. It starts to make us reflect on Lob City, how Chris Paul also did not win, and that was a overrated team, ended up not doing anything, who underachieved, I should say.
Sure.
So now to me, you put the spotlight back on the organization as a whole, and the same thing I said yesterday, I'll end it with this, Martin. It just reminds us, through it all, Chris Paul's fault, their fault, everybody, all this, the Clippers gon' clip. And it's just a reminder. Because if I told you had Kawhi, Paul George, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal Crawford, James Harden, if I didn't mention all these other players, and over about a 20, 25-year span, you'd have one Western Conference Finals appearance to show for all of that. That is just absolutely unacceptable.
See, I'm going at it actually from a different way. I think this has a lot more to say about and do about Chris Paul in this stage in his career than it does with the Clippers. And here's the reason why. The athletes are normally always the last person. The athlete is the last one to know he doesn't have it anymore. And I'm not saying that Chris Paul thinks he's still 25, but I think that Chris Paul, I think it came down like this. Because if the statement that Lawrence Frank made when they signed Chris Paul said he's joining us in the reserve point guard role and is excited to fill whatever role T. Lue asks him to play. He wants to be a part of the group. We're fortunate to have him back, right? It's only been 19 games, right, or something like that. It's only been a quarter of the season. Now, I think what all happened was you get into this situation. You see Bradley Beal, he's out for the year. You see the record, the team's out for the year essentially, right? They're not competing for anything. In a series, in a season in which they expected to be able to compete. You're not signing these guys in this way if you don't think you're going to be able to compete. And again, like you said, Clippers going to clip. I'm with you there. This is just throwing good money after bad, right, in terms of trying to reestablish or reinvigorate the Kawhi Leonard era, right, even with adding James Harden, adding Chris Paul. The reality of this is, though, this to me seems – listen to the names that coach for the Clippers right now. Ty Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, Brian Shaw, Larry Drew. All four of those guys are guys that you know independently for knowing ball.
Yep.
What they didn't need is a fifth coach. And what they had right then is a fifth coach in Chris Paul. Because you're not competing on the floor, right? You're not being able to be competitive on the floor. And instead of being like a mentor-style guy to a lot of guys, I think he's actually in there pointing fingers and saying, we need to do this, we need to do that. This is why we're losing, instead of like, and I'm not knocking them. I prefer players that want to win. Let me be clear. However, if you were on a team, for example, like in the NFL, if you were on the Tennessee Titans today, right, and you're on the offense, and you're saying the reason why this team is only has one win on the year, 2 wins on the year, is because we're starting Cam Ward. Well, that's the plan, pal. That's just what the situation is. That's what we're going to do here. And if you can't get on board, then we're going to have to send you home. That's how this feels to me. And I get like the Clippers are absolutely horrible right now. I get CP3, Hall of Fame level player. Maybe he goes in as a Clipper. Most likely goes in as a Clipper, right? Maybe a Hornet, depending on how he feels about all of it, right? But this is not a Disney movie, bro. You don't get to pick how this ends.
Radio. It's your boys, Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, on a Magic City Monday. Coming up. That's right, Tiger. Coming up, we'll talk about college football playoffs. There's a team who decided we ain't having it. You don't want us? We ain't playing in bowl games. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Also, Play of the Day, Shekel City on the way as well. And be sure to check out the brand new YouTube channel. Shout out to the YouTubians, the Odd Mob on YouTube right now. Simulcast. All you got to do, search Odd Couple, FSR. Then like it, subscribe, share, comment away, all that good stuff. We'll check in with some comments throughout as well. So we'll get there in just a minute. All right, 877-99 on Fox. The Chiefs let me down. Patrick Mahomes let me down. Andy Reid let me down. The whole squad let me down. Rob called it. Obviously, it's not over. They still got I don't know, 10, 12, 15% chance. But they look out of it.
Kelvin?
No. Oh, no. But I'm just saying technically. They look bad. They're going to end up winning record, but not make it. And Patrick Mahomes has been underwhelming considering he has most of his weapons back as well. Rob says he's all to blame. That's where I disagree. Took it too far for me. What do you say? 877-99 on Fox. Who we got?
That's right. Call in and get your medicine on Patrick Mahomes. I've been trying to give it to you for 2 years. Come get it. Mike in Portland. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mike?
Rob, Kelvin.
Thank
What's
you,
up,
buddy.
Mike?
Hey, I think you're spot on, Rob. The no punch shootout Josh Allen division round days are long, long gone for Patrick Mahomes. He's a great player, but that's the nature of quarterback. If they're losing, which they are, I just look at the last Super Bowl run where they won a Super Bowl. They averaged 15 points per game.
Yep.
Giving up. Now, a lot of quarterbacks can get you 17 points to win a football game. That's what I got for you guys.
Appreciate
Keep it up. Love the show.
Thank you, Mike. How about Sean in Sacramento? I knew he was going to jump in. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Sean?
Yo, my uncle, my another mother, cousin, Kelvin, and my brothers behind the board. Somebody call Chris Broussard. Somebody call Nick Wrong. Somebody call Dan Orlovsky. Let them know the Rob Parker press box now has a sister location. Because the Pool King now owns the Chiefs Kingdom in Kansas City. Ladies and gentlemen, all those cut scenes, the ads, he's dialing something up. What kind of exotic? He had nothing for that Teddy Houston offense all night last night. 10 points in the fourth quarter? Are you kidding me? And all that talk about the return of Patrick Mahomes. Oh, he's dialed in.
Don't you remember? Yep, Kelvin was on it. Oh, he got his receivers now. He's going to be MVP and get to the Super Bowl. That's what people were saying.
All those weapons that have no running game. All that coaching, they can't dial anything up against Houston. And it's been like this all year. You called it before the season started. Now everybody has to wear it. Dial it up. Dial all y'all Chiefs haters out there. Dial it up because we celebrating. I don't see none of these little fanboys in the chat calling out us.
They disappeared. They disappeared.
Everybody on X, everybody on Instagram, everybody calling you the Wash King. They all gotta wear it, and they all sitting in silence. Because how quiet is it right now in Kansas City?
That's right. That you can hear a mouse urinate on a drop rib bone. In downtown Kansas City. Thanks, Sean. 877-99 on Fox. Let's go to Kansas City. Jax, who I'm sure is going to defend Patrick Mahomes because that's what he does, but I want to hear from him anyway. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Rob Parker, thank you for taking my call, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kelvin, man, I'm on board with you. The whole team let us down. So, we already know that Rob dishes out a full dose of rhetoric with a good helping of haterism. So it's not surprising that you just act like this dude because they have had a bad season is no good. Like if you watched him play yesterday, if you watch Rashid drop them.
Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, everybody. You know what? We could go everywhere and talk about every quarterback and drops. Stop it with the drops. I gave you the other numbers. Are these all drops?
Three just starting offensive linemen.
Okay. I'm asking you, there were still plays that were open.
So
Jax, he played well? Jax, he played well? Let me ask you that. He played well?
In his hand.
Did he play well? So Patrick played great, and the receivers were bad. Is that what you're saying?
You are hitting your receiver in his hand.
Yeah,
He drops 3
In the
of them.
last 4 games, he has
that's
1 touchdown and 6 interceptions, but it's all the receivers, right? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that everybody.
I'm asking you.
I told you that from the beginning. Everybody does that. Andrew Reid made a bad decision to go for it.
I don't know what he was doing with that.
Well, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest. He's the GOAT. I thought he was the GOAT. I thought Patrick Mahomes was the GOAT.
Rob, let me.
Thanks,
Jax, appreciate it. Rob, real quick for Trinity. I'm gonna throw a couple numbers at you.
Yeah, and
we
got
go in there. Second in the NFL, and he's in second in NFL in passing yard. He's second in QBR. He's 4th in touchdowns as well. So the idea that he's horrible or he
hasn't beaten anybody. It's about who's he beating? They're 3-7 against top 10.
Nobody's questioning.
Haven't
but
beaten
anybody. The idea that you act like he's been horrible, and the idea that you act like you didn't see those several, they were at a chance to tie the game if they don't drop it.
Which games? The last 4 games have been all important, correct? As they try to make a push.
Yes.
And he has 1 touchdown in the last 4 games. Okay,
so
you can talk about your other numbers. You told me that they were off and running, and they were going to the Super Bowl.
I'm telling you, the offense, and specifically him, has been adequate at times.
I want to squeeze
They
one
just
more
aren't finished those games.
Before we get to USC, Chris. Let's, Kevin in Culver City, real quick. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Real quick.
God is good.
All the time.
Hey, it's called a bad offensive line. It's called Patrick Mahomes making bad decisions, but it's not all on him. This has been a horrible football team all season, and those receivers dropping those balls, they looked scared last night against the Texans. That Texans defense looked ferocious the way they were hitting
them
out
ferocious,
there. And Kelsey let Mahomes down on that drop that caused that interception. It was Kelsey, too. The Chiefs are not who we thought they were. They have no running back. They have no explosion. And that GM, Brett Beaningham, has never gotten Mahomes any help with weapons, and it's caught up to them. And when you want to just get rid of Tyreek Hill, and you don't want to bring any explosion back, you don't want to trade for Bruce Hall or get the receiver, Jacoby Myers, this is what happens. They didn't get anybody at the trade deadline, and they're paying for it. They didn't get Quinnen Williams, and they look old, and they look slow, and the Chiefs are done. They let their quarterback down. Mahomes, start voicing some help for yourself, because your GM's never going to bring it to you.
It's
and
unbelievable.
Andy Reid going for 4th down, unacceptable.
And Patrick Mahomes, no blame. So it's everybody but Patrick, right? Is that what you're saying?
No. 4 Super Bowls.
No, stop talking about this. Isn't about a Lifetime Achievement Award. We're talking about this season. We're talking about now. We're talking about the last 4. Stop with that. No one's talking about his career. We're talking about now. Kelvin said he was going to be the MVP this year. I don't want to hear that.
The MVP this year.
Please stop it. Get out of here, Kevin, with that.
Please, no more booty shots.
Hey, I tell you what, boy. They got a lot to do with this offseason, that's for sure, man. All right, we got more conversation coming up about Cup. No, yeah, right. Rob, stop acting like he is not still one of the best quarterbacks. Ain't nobody listening to nothing you talking about. You already know that. All right, coming up, we got to talk about Notre Dame and their decisions that they made. We'll get that on the other side of trending right now. Chris Perfett going to get you update. What's up, Chris?
Yeah, let's stop doing this Travis Kelce thing, too, while we're at it. This is not continuing to happen. However, you want to talk about old men in the NFL. We have some breaking news. According to Adam Schefter, Tuesday could see a retired legend making a comeback. The Colts will host Phillip Rivers for a tryout. I am not making this up. Daniel Jones, of course, suffered a season-ending Achilles tear on Sunday. Riley Leonard, who came in on relief, is dealing with a knee issue that leaves him week to week. And, of course, Anthony Richardson is on injured reserve with an orbital fracture. He's broken his face. The only quarterback the Colts have right now is Brett Ripien on the practice squad. So Tuesday could see Phillip Rivers suiting it up one more time. Heisman finalists were also announced. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza. Indiana, of course, getting its first undefeated season and first Big Ten title since the 60s. Vanderbilt's quarterback Diego Pavia is in the running as well. And rounding out the field, Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin. Chargers running back Omarion Hampton has been activated from IR and will play tonight against the Eagles on Monday Night Football. Browns head coach Kevin Stefanski earlier today said quarterback Shedeur Sanders will be their starting quarterback for the rest of the season. In basketball, first off, Terry Rozier pled not guilty in federal court on Monday on charges of wire fraud and money laundering stemming from his alleged role in helping friends cook bets on his performance in NBA games. And the Orlando Magic's Desmond Bane has been fined $35,000 for throwing a ball at Knicks forward OG Anunoby on Sunday in an unsportsmanlike manner. Anunoby fell to the ground. Bane launched the ball at him. This is the second time he's done it, so he gets hit with the fine. Rob and Kelvin, back to you guys.
Yeah, appreciate it, Chris. I tell you what, Desmond Baines is out here wilding, and you know what the internet does. The internet pulled up all those videos of him throwing the ball at people. I don't know if you saw that, Rob. He absolutely's got like a thing for slamming the ball on people when they're out of bounds. It's the Odd Couple, Rob and Kelvin on a Magic City Monday. And, of course, I mentioned we're getting ready to talk about some Notre Dame here. But real quick, every goal starts with an assist and on and off the field. That is why Helion and U.S. Soccer are launching for the assist and a celebration of every act of support that helps people achieve their goals with iconic brands like Sensodyne, Tums, Voltaren, Advil, and Centrum. So to learn more, go to HelionAssist.com. Go check them out. Rob G., of course, we got the college football playoffs. We got it all set up. Notre Dame left out, and they are not happy about it.
Yeah, it's not just that they got left out. It's that people are saying they got screwed, and here's the reason why. For the last month or so, the College Football Playoff Committee does their TV show on ESPN every Tuesday night. We've talked about it. We've done a couple of segments on it. For the last month, even though Notre Dame had lost to Miami head-to-head, the Irish were consistently ranked ahead of the Hurricanes until the final ranking, when despite neither team playing on championship weekend, Miami leapfrogged Notre Dame. Notre Dame left out of the playoff altogether. Flash forward the next day, Notre Dame was so upset about what happened, they decided we're going to take our ball and go home. Forget, we're not making it in the playoffs. We're not going to participate in any bowl game because we're not going to give ESPN the satisfaction nor the ratings of getting our team on their network. Notre Dame passing on bowl season.
Notre Dame being petty. Listen, do they absolutely have a claim to be in this? Without a doubt. Can they be upset? Without a doubt. Can they look at, some other teams and maybe an Alabama team that has 3 losses and feel like we should be in there? Absolutely. But my biggest thing with this, both Robs, is that every single team, when you have a number, if it's 4, in this case 12, there's always going to be a 13, 14, right, who feel like we should have been in it. Every year. There's going to be a team on the outside looking in. Could have been Notre Dame, could have been Alabama, could have been Miami. That's going to feel like we should be in. And the idea then that you say, well, screw, we're not going to be in a bowl game. And listen, bowl games ain't what they used to be. We know that. Rob, you remember a team, only a couple teams are going to make it to the national championship, but to play in the Sugar Bowl was a big deal. To play in the Rose Bowl was a big deal. The Tostitos Bowl was a big deal. Those days are long gone. But the idea that simply you would just have a bad attitude, like, it didn't go exactly how I want, I don't like that part of it. Because to me, there's no guarantee next year. You can have the same record, be 10-2, and be right in the same situation. Or you're Florida, or you're Miami, or Ohio, or Michigan. You could be any team sitting on the out. Is that the result? That if it didn't go my way, I'm not going to participate. It didn't go the way we liked it. Me and my boys are going to take our ball and go away. So I understand their frustration. But every single year, there's going to be a team that feel like they got screwed or hosed or we got a bad job. So that's the part I don't like, Rob, because we're going to be here again. There's going to be a team that sits here and says, we should have been in. Every single year, the way we're doing it, when you have a group of people who sit around and have coffee and a bag of chips and guac, and they figure out who the best teams are. They're going to make mistakes. So is this a result now that we'll just take our ball, that we'll just quit, that we'll just pout? And I also wonder, was this every college player on the team? Meaning, what if some of them say, hey, bro, I want to play, right? This is my last game. I'm a senior. I didn't know this was going to be it, right? I thought we were going to have a chance to be in the college football playoff, compete. Now it's over. I'm not playing a bowl game. Like, you didn't know your career was going to be over out the blue. That's another thing I don't like. If there were a handful of players, 10, 15, 25 players, seniors, who wanted to play. So this was just the last little nail in the coffin for the amateurism, the idea of just playing to play, the idea that bowl games matter, all that is gone. And we're simply in, if it ain't my way, I don't like it, I don't want to compete, I don't want to play. And that's just where we are right now.
I'm the poo-poo king, and I'm going to endorse the petty king. I'm fine with where Notre Dame is, being petty, because they are a big draw. It doesn't make sense to what happened to them. It's different. Rob G talked about it. It's different if there was some change because the team they were competing against won the championship or did something that changed everything. What changed? Nothing changed. So this is a big time slight. You would have to be able to honestly explain why Miami all of a sudden jumped over you when they hadn't been all year. It didn't make sense. They both didn't play, right? So what changed?
Can I tell you what the prevailing thought is? The prevailing thought is teams, people who are part of the committees or people who are college football is their thing. They all kind of start to really look back at a couple of things. They look back at the head-to-head more and say, oh, they were actually more dominant Miami during them. You look at the team who's been playing.
But that should have been going all year.
I agree with that. That I don't disagree with. I'm with you on that.
Then why did you miss that all year?
I don't disagree with you on that.
That don't make any sense to me.
Yeah. The only other thing I would say to Notre Dame is, Rob, we live out here in L.A. USC, tradition, Pac-12, all that. UCLA, Pac-12, traditions have changed. You got 20-some teams, the Big Ten, or 18, 20 in the SEC. Traditions have changed. Notre Dame may need to look at the tradition of not being a part of a conference and align themselves so that they win a conference.
So much money.
They can get in. I agree with that. I don't disagree with that.
I would never give up my NBC contract. Why would I share with some of these other also-ran schools? They have a huge tradition. They travel well. They give TV ratings, and they make all the money.
Right.
I don't know what AD or school president is giving that up. Not on my watch.
Only thing I'm saying is
you
have that's one of your given chances to get in. That's the only thing I'm saying. Otherwise, unless you 11-1,
they still could screw you once you give all that stuff up. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying if you win your conference, I'm saying.
No, but I'm just saying. But say you still have a good year. I'm just saying, there's all
I
kinds
hear
of
what you're
things
saying. I'm saying that's the only way to guarantee is all I'm saying.
But you can't win the conference every year is what I'm saying. So, all right.
On the way, we got Shekel City Play of the Day as well. It is the Odd Couple, Rob Kelvin on a Magic City Monday, Fox Sports. Chris Paul may have been a Clipper and now this stint and been a little tough, a little demanding, very vocal, maybe disgruntled at times, expectations through the roof. My answer is yes. Could that have rubbed his teammates, the organization, coaches, president of basketball the wrong way? Yes. But you know what I say? If you're a record label and you bring in Kanye West, you know you're going to get some crazy stunts. You know you're going to have to put out some fires. Everybody has that certain family member. All right, we love them. We bring them to the party, but Uncle Joe might get a little crazy, but that's family. And I say that to say the Clippers, he was literally a Clipper and maybe your biggest Clipper of all time. You know who he is. You know how he left. You know some of the issues with him and Blake, and I'm sure they patched things up, but you know who this guy is. You know the reputation. I'm not in the NBA. You're not in the NBA, and we've heard. He's demanding. He's hard. He wants to win. He's a lot in the locker room. Why are you now shocked? Why is this a surprise? Why did you okay the farewell tour? Why did you bring it in to finish as a Clipper, who arguably your greatest Clipper, could be your first jersey up in the Intuit Dome, could maybe be the first Clipper with a statue at the Intuit Dome area in Inglewood? So I'm more shocked that, yes, I do believe he might have been tough, might have had expectations, but this has been him. Why are we shocked? Why is this a surprise? And how did we land here where now it's ending ugly? For him, this is all ruined. And it's also putting a spotlight on you all, the Clippers, because now we're saying this is fumbled. The whole Kawhi Leonard experiment's been a fumble. SGA is now a star that you traded with the Thunder. He's a champion and MVP. And they still got all those picks you gave up. It starts to make us reflect on Lob City, how Chris Paul also, did not win. And that was a overrated team ended up not doing anything, who underachieved, I should say.
Sure.
So now to me, you put the spotlight back on the organization as a whole, and the same thing I said yesterday, I'll end it with this, Martin. It just reminds us, through it all, Chris Paul's fault, their fault, everybody, all this, the Clippers gon' clip. And it's just a reminder. Because if I told you had Kawhi, Paul George, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, Jamal Crawford, James Harden, if I didn't mention all these other players, and over about a 20, 25-year span, you'd have one Western Conference Finals appearance to show for all of that. That is just absolutely unacceptable.
See, I'm going at it actually from a different way. I think this has a lot more to say about and do about Chris Paul in this stage in his career than it does with the Clippers. And here's the reason why. The athletes are normally always the last person. The athlete is the last one to know he doesn't have it anymore. And I'm not saying that Chris Paul thinks he's still 25, but I think that Chris Paul, I think it came down like this. Because if the statement that Lawrence Frank made when they signed Chris Paul said he's joining us in the reserve point guard role and is excited to fill whatever role T. Lue asks him to play. He wants to be a part of the group. We're fortunate to have him back, right? It's only been 19 games, right, or something like that. It's only been a quarter of the season. Now, I think what all happened was you get into this situation. You see Bradley Beal, he's out for the year. You see the record, the team's out for the year essentially, right? They're not competing for anything. In a season in which they expected to be able to compete. You're not signing these guys in this way if you don't think you're going to be able to compete. And again, like you said, Clippers going to clip. I'm with you there. This is just throwing good money after bad, right, in terms of trying to reestablish or reinvigorate the Kawhi Leonard era, right, even with adding James Harden, adding Chris Paul. The reality of this is, though, this to me seems, listen to the names that coach for the Clippers right now. Ty Lue, Jeff Van Gundy, Brian Shaw, Larry Drew. All four of those guys are guys that you know independently for knowing ball.
Yep.
What they didn't need is a fifth coach. And what they had right then is a fifth coach in Chris Paul. Because you're not competing on the floor, right? You're not being able to be competitive on the floor. And instead of being like a mentor-style guy to a lot of guys, I think he's actually in there pointing fingers and saying, we need to do this, we need to do that. This is why we're losing. Instead of like, and I'm not knocking them. I prefer players that want to win. Let me be clear. However, if you were on a team, for example, like in the NFL, if you were on the Tennessee Titans today, right, and you're on the offense, and you're saying the reason why this team is only has 1 win on the year, 2 wins on the year is because we're starting Cam Ward. Well, that's the plan, pal. That's just what the situation is. That's what we're going to do here. And if you can't get on board, then we're going to have to send you home. That's how this feels to me. And I get like the Clippers are absolutely horrible right now. I get CP3, Hall of Fame level player. Maybe he goes in as a Clipper, most likely goes in as a Clipper, right? Maybe a Hornet, depending on how he feels about all of it, right? But this is not a Disney movie, bro. You don't get to pick how this ends.
Left in the show coming up next hour as well. We got to talk about the Bears and Packers game. TJ Houshmandzadeh will join us next hour as well, so a whole lot to look forward to. Right now, it is time for your Tire Rack Play of the Day.
At the 5, it's Puka again! On one play, a 31-yard strike. Puka Nacua with a new career high in touchdowns.
Rams radio right there. Puka, man, that dude is that dude is insane, Rob. The catches he makes, he is spectacular. Maybe like the most maybe untalked about superstar in the league, just does his thing week in, week out. That was your Tire Rack Play of the Day, brought to you by Tire Rack. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. It's the way tire buying should be. It's now time for Shekel City.
Welcome to Shekel City, the home base for Rob Parker's daily picks against the spread.
Did I do that? Did I do that? Alex, the one thing about me is I'm so honest. Now, the last time I made a pick was 3, 4, 5 days ago, and I'm still going to tell you that I was 0-3 the last time I made picks on Shekel City because I'm a man of integrity.
What are you, Honest Abe?
Honesty, yes.
Do you hear yourself on the radio every day, Rob?
Yes, I do.
Stop it.
So I was 0-3,
Okay.
which takes me to 90-82. And here we go tonight. We'll do a little Shekel City, all right?
Well, Rob, if this makes you feel better, Kelvin went 1-4 in the pigskin, so.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
Mind your business, Alex. Nobody asked you.
Kelvin, I don't even know how he did as well as he did last year.
Oh, idea.
When it comes to football, like you said, you got a hand in poker. Kelvin has a foot when it comes to football.
Hold on, let me tell you something.
Like, he doesn't have a hand.
Hey, Elijah, HRU. Because best believe, I'm about to hit a hard reset, Rob. Yeah. I'm hitting a hard reset. It's coming up. Soon as what you said, I can't hear you, Rob G. You said we're resetting at the start of the playoffs. Bet it up.
No, we ain't
Bet
resetting.
it up. I can't wait, baby.
And Elijah wanted to be part of your HRU because he didn't have anything because you said the Chiefs were coming back.
No. I got a few still. I got a few still lined up. We got a couple coming up in this show, too.
I want you to know.
We got a couple coming up.
My buddy Divine was the biggest Kansas City Mahomes guy. I got a pair of Jordans on them not making the playoffs.
No, listen, they still got a 15% chance, Rob.
I just said I got a pair.
You know this is unlike you.
I got
until it's officially
I didn't say
dead.
I won the bet. I said I have a bet on it. I didn't say I won yet. I said I have a like I have one on you. All right, here we go.
What you got?
Knicks -4.5. They're in Toronto. That's my best bet. OKC, I'm going to take the Suns plus 15.5. They lose, but the 15.5 is ridiculous. And I'm going to take the Spurs plus 4.5. They take on the Lakers here in Los Angeles. So, again, Spurs plus 4.5. I got Suns plus 15.5 and the Knicks -4.5. And remember, I'm not telling you who to bet on. I'm telling you who I bet on.
All right, we got Monday Night Football.
And we should say real quickly, too, on Notre Dame.
Right,
Rob G, this info that I gave you is correct? Yes, and it is Notre Dame. They have a contractual agreement that if Notre Dame is top 12 next year, they automatically make the playoffs. So there's no need to join a conference. That was a part of it, Rob G, right? For the 16 to agree to the 16 teams in the playoffs, that if they're top 12, they automatically get a bid. So there you go.
That. Okay. Right. Yeah. Well,
that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Then you're still to your advantage. Monday night, we got a couple of teams, Rob, who are good on the record case, but have been kind of struggling lately. Got the Eagles, of course, in town here in Los Angeles, taking on the Chargers. The Eagles become out here. This is one of those things where it has been when they try to pass the ball, they don't score. When they don't, they might win. It'd be ugly, and everybody complains. So they're in a weird, peculiar place. And then the Chargers, again, are sitting at 8-4, but their own division, obviously, you got the Chiefs have been the big talk of the division. You got the Broncos who are running away with this. So a lot is going to be on them as well. They are 5-2 at home, so we'll see how this all works out for them.
No, the Eagles need a win. They've lost
need
3 in a row, right?
They need a big win.
They need a win. They need a win. They need a win more so than even the Chargers. They really do.
The Eagles need a win for sure. From a literal standpoint, as far as just keeping up in the standings, where they'll be, and also morale. So we'll keep you updated on Monday Night Football as that kicks off here very, very shortly. We'll let you know how that goes. All right, we got to talk about another team who was once number one in the NFC next. We'll tell you.
We are Fox Sports.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is.
Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible.
You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham! We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football kicking off momentarily. Omarion Hampton, Chargers running back, has been activated from IR and will be active tonight against the Eagles. Quarterback Justin Herbert is active Monday night, still battling through a busted up hand. According to Adam Schefter, Tuesday we'll see retired legend maybe making a comeback as the Colts will host former Chargers legend Phillip Rivers for a tryout. Rivers is 44. He hasn't played in 5 years, but the situation in Indy is grim with quarterbacks. Daniel Jones suffered a season-ending Achilles tear. Riley Leonard came in relief and is dealing with a knee issue that leaves him week to week. Anthony Richardson is on IR with an orbital fracture. The only healthy quarterback is practice squad quarterback Brett Ripien. The Heisman Trophy finalists were announced Monday. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin. I'm Chris Perfett.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
It is hour number 2 here on the Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday. Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington. Stress from work, money, family just doesn't disappear at night. It follows you into the bedroom. That's where Rougiette Ready comes in. That's right. It's a prescription treatment designed to help prime your brain in those moments. Head to Rougiette.com/FSR to get 15% off your order. That's RUGIET.com/FSR. Also, if you missed any of today's show, you'll want to catch up the podcast. Just search Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted. Be sure to follow the podcast. Rate 5 stars so that you can even provide a review. We'll take that as well. Rob's putting that together. Again, just search Odd Couple wherever you get your podcast, and you'll get a full version of today's show and a best of version as well. Right after we get off the air. Don't forget, coming up in 27 minutes, let me say that, TJ Houshmandzadeh, the former Pro Bowl wide receiver, co-host of Up On Game on Fox Sports Radio on the weekend as well. That's right. There you go. Very nice. We'll do that and much more here in hour number 2.
Did you? What else you get to do while you were in the D, by the way? Anything else you get to run by your barbershop?
The D. Yeah, I went to the barbershop, hung out, got a cut, see everybody. Yeah. It was a good little visit. It was cold, though. That's good.
Yes, dude. That's the one thing. You don't listen. We pay the high taxes. We complain. It's expensive out here in California, but the fact that it's 74, 5, 6, 7 degrees wherever you are in LA, that's the reason why we're here, man. For sure. It's also cold in the Chicago as well. We had, of course, a big game, divisional game, Rob. We had the Packers and the Bears going at it in a game that those two are tops of the NFC right now. Rob G., this is a tough division. We knew it would be coming into last year, going into this season as well. And to our surprise, to a lot of people at least, the Bears are leading it. But not a good game for the Bears as a whole, specifically Caleb Williams.
Well, they were leading it is the thing. They were ranked number 1 in the NFC heading into Sunday's game against the Green Bay Packers. With that loss, they fell all the way to 7. That's how tightly bunched things are in the NFC. In fact, all of the analytics projections say that with that loss, the Bears are now projected to miss the playoffs entirely this 48 hours after being number 1 in the conference. Says a lot about what's going on there. And it really was, as you mentioned, a tale of two halves for Caleb Williams because he started off, quite frankly, just terribly. All right, in the first half.
Like Patrick Mahomes? Go ahead.
In the first half, 6 of 14, 32 passing yards. But as he's been known to do, really turned it up there in the second half. 164 total yards, 2 touchdowns, 121 passer rating. Adjusted completion rate of 86.4%. That is until his very, very last pass of the game. 4th down, rather than taking the first down, goes for it all in the end zone, intercepted to seal the game and the loss for Chicago.
Yeah, and listen, this is where, to me, as they head into the end of the season, and this is where we're going to also see what they're really made of. Couple of things to note. We talk about this all the time, Rob G, that you got to play who's in front of you, right? You can't control the schedule when they make it months in advance. But as we talked about it with the Bears, the reason why I haven't been sold on them is because of how they look throughout this season. You look back at some of these games, and they barely beat teams that you're supposed to destroy to be when you look at them as the number one seed in NFC. They beat your Raiders by 1. They beat the Commanders by 1. Both games exact score, 25-24. They go on to barely beat the Bengals. They barely beat the Giants by 4. They barely beat the Vikings again by 2. So they go on and on and on. And when they play the quality teams, they have lost. They got a great win, absolutely good win for them when they beat the Eagles a handful of weeks ago. So definitely credit there. But this is where it gets
2 weeks
for
ago
them.
in Philadelphia, one ways ago, 2 weeks ago. That was before they played this game.
That's what you jumped. I said a few. You said 2. Okay, my
2
bad,
weeks
Rob.
ago.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because this argument and what you're about to talk about
can you relax?
is utterly ridiculous. Go
Whoa,
ahead.
Can you relax?
I'm going to turn my mic off and let you talk.
Please,
just talk.
turn it off.
It's ridiculous.
My gosh.
I've never heard anything like this.
Why are you so emotional?
Because
you know
what?
Because I sat up there and let you rock. No, hold on, Rob. Rob. I let you rock about it.
The guy was 1-4 every week in football picks. I'm supposed to sit here and hear you talk about. They only won
His
by 1 point.
name is Caleb Williams, not Caleb Parker.
They only won by 1 point.
His name is Caleb Williams, not Caleb Parker.
They only won by 1.
His name is Caleb Williams.
And the Lions won by 20 points every game last year.
This is
and
where
in the
people,
playoff games, guess what happened?
They
lost. They lost.
You
they
run?
lost.
This is where I don't understand why you're so emotional. That's where that's not one of he's not one of your mentees. He's not one of your mentees. He's not. You don't know him. You can relax. You get so fired up. I sit up there and let you go about the Chiefs. It was okay. You jump right in. Look at you. Why? I don't understand why you get so emotional. It's okay. Relax. Woosah, Rob. You can let me go. Then you can talk as well. And it's the same. This is why you're hilarious to me, Rob. The level of hypocrisy is entertaining to me because you sit up here and talk about wins and losses, yet the Lions went 15-2 last year. Every week you found a reason why they weren't good. The Chiefs went 15-2 last year. You talked about every single reason why good. And then you talk about the Steelers and they'll barely win games. And they did this. Then Caleb Williams, we can't criticize Caleb. No, we can't. We can criticize Patrick and this person and Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford, but we can't criticize Caleb Williams. So, as I was stating before I was so rudely interrupted, they barely beat bad teams. That is where myself and some others will say, I don't know how I feel about the Bears. They're barely beating the bad teams. And then you say, but credit them for, hey, you beat who's on the schedule. And if you start to look at why I am concerned or why I feel like there's still a lot of room to be desired for them to get better is because the poor performance from Caleb Williams. We just talked about how bad he looked in the first half of that game. We've talked about where he has been throughout this season. He has terrible passes you're talking about on target. He's one of the worst in that. He's 34th. There's only 32 starting quarterbacks in completion percentage at 57 right now. He also is 18th in QB rating. He's 19th in QBR, and he is 11th in passing yards. So my issue has simply been for them, their ceiling, where they could be a legitimate one seed in the NFC, is if Caleb could play up to what we expected from him coming in. The greatest prospect since Andrew Luck, a Heisman Trophy winner. He has an offensive coordinator guru in Ben Johnson, and yet he himself has not looked great. And the offense as a whole hasn't looked great. So it's okay to criticize him. That's all I'm doing is saying I want him to improve. I want him to stop having these horrible first halves or horrible second halves all the time. And I want to see him get better. And I thought this would be him able to do this. Now, he might be able to do this next year. Couple seasons under his belt with Ben Johnson, we'll have to see. But as of right now, including Ben Johnson, who has acknowledged their passing game is what's holding them back. Yesterday was another example of the passing game that's holding them back. And they had a chance to really put a coffin on this thing and say, we are the best team in the NFC. And they fell short. And he was, Alex, as they call it, he was the weakest link on that Bears team. And that's okay, Rob. It's okay.
Are you done?
Yes.
Good. once again, just ridiculous. Coming off the game they played in Philadelphia, you act like he hasn't played any games. He has brought that team back. Hold on, let me talk.
Don't do that now because you just did that to me.
I got off the mic and let you talk. Did I not? I turned my mic off.
Yes.
So let me talk now. I was quiet. I let you go ahead with your spiel. Okay, did I not? I didn't want to interrupt you, so I let you go. The whole idea that you're going to sit here when this guy had won 4 games, when they had no business to win, and when he made some big throws and some big plays, even in this game, he got them back in and played well in the second half. And you're talking about the first half, but you'll celebrate Shedeur Sanders throwing touchdowns or losing to the Titans, but you're going to sit here about Caleb Williams in games where they were 7-point underdogs in Green Bay. It would have been unbelievable for them to go on the road and win in Philadelphia and win in Green Bay back-to-back, and they were in the game. And that last play, I knew they were going to throw that ball in the end zone, and it was, 50-50 ball where you might come down with it and win the game, or it was going to be an interception. I wasn't even shocked that was the play call because that's what they normally do is throw the ball in the end zone on that. Everybody on a short yardage is up close. So what they do is like, yo, we're going to go and try. We got space in the end zone. Let's go for it. And that's what happened. He threw the pick. He doesn't throw a lot of picks. I'm so tired. It's still about winning. He's a young quarterback, but you make it like he's terrible. And every week or every chance, they just had a big game in Philadelphia. And right away, because they lose by 7 points to Green Bay when they were 7-point underdog, he's the worst quarterback and he's the weakest link. That's your take on Caleb Williams? Tell me that they should bench him or cut him if you want to have a strong take on Caleb Williams. Coming on every other week and saying, oh, he didn't play well. He's the weakest link on the Bears. So what if they won 9 games where nobody even had them being into the playoffs? Nobody picked them to go in the playoffs or to have 9 wins this year. And to sit around and act like he's disappointed when they're disappointed Chicago and the Bears because they're 9-4 is outrageous to me. That's what I can't understand. That's the part. You act like there was some high, lofty expectations. Show me the preseason predictions that had them going to the Super Bowl.
We just had Sean Kingo who had them winning the division.
Had them going to the Super Bowl, but they're still in the hunt.
I said winning the division.
They're in the hunt for the division. They're only half a game out.
That's my point. You're acting like people had them to be 3-14 or whatever.
No, but I'm saying
hold
they're half a game out. Green Bay,
I can't criticize. So I can't be critical.
You can do whatever you want.
So okay then.
You can do whatever you want, but I could be critical of you too if I don't agree with it. So yeah. Go ahead, do what you want. Just like I was critical of you and the Chiefs when you made your parade for Patrick Mahomes and they're going to the Super Bowl. He's the MVP. I told you then it wasn't happening. That's all I'm saying.
The reason why I don't listen to you because you say
the
same thing. Because you say the same thing to your right. So you said it all last year, right?
Don't stop it.
The Chiefs. You did.
You
literally did.
I told you all year.
You did.
I told you what? The Chiefs would not win a Super Bowl.
They're going to lose every week.
No, I did not.
You literally did, bro.
I did not.
This is the difference between me and you.
No,
I can admit it.
That's BS.
I can admit
I did not pick them to lose every week. Rob G, you can go get the pick.
Rob G,
I did not pick them every week. No, he did not.
You picked them 12 out of the whatever weeks it was.
No, I did not. I didn't pick them to lose every week. Stop it.
So you do know Rob G keeps tracks of this
stuff,
right?
I do. And I know I didn't pick them every week.
Stop it. You pick against them. So I don't know when you're right, Rob, because you pick against them every week.
What I'm telling you is
they go both 15-2.
I told you both things.
I told you.
No, I told you. The thing I told you was 2 things. No, I told you that the Lions weren't going to the Super Bowl and the Chiefs weren't going to win the Super Bowl. That's what I told you all year. I didn't care what the record was.
Okay, Rob.
The Bears have won 4. They got 4 wins this season after trailing, right? This is the guy who's so awful.
Bad teams.
It doesn't matter.
All I'm saying,
it's about coming back. Yeah, because those could have been losses. They could have been losses.
Tell me he's a guy, and he looks bad against the Giants.
They have 4 wins this season after trailing at some point in the final 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. You ready for this? No, let me say this.
Go ahead.
It's the 4, right? It's the most wins of any in the season since 1970, since the merger. It doesn't happen. You don't win games in the final 2 minutes in the fourth quarter since 1970. What are you talking about? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
I can tell you.
You're acting like it happens all the time.
No, what's funny about that is, again, the selective of when winning close games matters. So everybody else wins a close game. They shouldn't be winning. That's Fugazi. They win close games. Now it's great. And also, you're talking about games that a lot of times he dug them in the hole. He dug them in the hole. Just like he dug them in the hole yesterday versus the Packers. And he tried to dig them out. Played good, really good in the second half. Absolutely. Nope. I have no problem admitting that. But also was a large contributor as to why they were in the hole in the first place. And again, you ain't got to take my word for it. Take his own coach's word for it.
So he should be benched, right, or cut? Is that what you're saying?
Nope.
Why not? He's terrible.
Because I don't have to do extremes.
According to you, he's terrible.
I don't have to do extremes.
No, you say he's terrible.
Don't have to do extremes.
Why don't you get on?
Don't have to.
Take a stand on some. Say he should be cut. Say he should be cut.
Come on, Rob.
You can't play the middle of the fence, the middle of the road all the time.
No,
you can't do it.
I literally just told you
Stand
exactly
up. Put your hand up.
I don't have to do extremes.
Raise your hand up. You don't have to be in the middle of the road.
Cut Caleb Williams. Yeah, cut Caleb. Yeah, because that
Go
makes
ahead.
sense. No.
You go viral. Do it.
Absolutely. Oh, if that's going viral, then I have no intention of going viral. Saying some crazy stuff.
Yeah, they said I was crazy when I said the Chiefs weren't going to make the playoffs either. That went viral, and I was a bad guy. I was washed. I didn't know what I was talking about. He just did it for clicks. He just did it for clicks because he hates Patrick Mahomes, and he hates greatness, and he hates this.
Two things can be true.
No, it ain't. And then none of it's true.
Two things still can be true. Okay? You still hate Patrick Mahomes, and they ain't making the playoffs.
What do I hate Patrick Mahomes for? I don't hate Patrick Mahomes. Just don't think he's the what they say. He was Jordan-esque, Chris Broussard and I, Rob G. How much did we fight about that? And you know what? Chris might be finally right. He is Jordan-esque. The Wizards Jordan-esque. That's right. Yes, he is.
I knew that was coming. That run absolutely was Jordan. I get the point. Career-wise, it ain't over. Obviously, Mike played his whole career. But that stretch he had was amazing, Patrick Mahomes.
877-99 on Fox, 877-996-6369. Did yesterday prove that Caleb Williams is the weak link in Chicago, according to Kelvin? We'll continue that conversation next with you. It is the Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, right here on Fox Sports Radio. And you know what you need to do. Stick and stay.
Unless you two are the weakest link in the US of A.
There you go. Hey, there's some doctors. Something most doctors don't know, most men never talk about. Stress from work, money, family doesn't disappear at night. It follows you into the bedroom, and suddenly your mind won't let your body do what it used to do naturally. For moments like that, doctors look for treatments that help both the brain and the body. That's where Rugiet Ready comes in. Unlike Viagra or Cialis, Rugiet Ready is the next generation prescription that helps prime your brain for arousal and increase blood flow. That's right. It uses 3 clinically proven ingredients in 1 mint that dissolves under your tongue so it absorbs fast. Most men are ready in 15 minutes on average. Over 150,000 men have already switched. Visit Rugiet.com/FSR to get your 15% off your first order. That's Rugiet.com/FSR.
Giannis and his representatives will be reevaluating their future there in Milwaukee. They plan to meet with the front office here in the coming weeks to have some kind of resolution, which all signs pointing to Giannis Antetokounmpo officially demanding a trade out of Milwaukee.
Hold on, Rob G. Say his name again.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
I'm going to rename him, Kelvin, on this very day to Giannis. I think it's time for me to go. and that's where he is. Giannis has turned into the new Benedict Arnold. I thought Giannis was different. I thought he wasn't like all of these American basketball players who don't want to win on their own, who are AAU driven, and let's team up and let's do this and let's not have the competition. I love Giannis. I am absolutely heartbroken that he fell into this. Giannis, you won a championship. Go ask Chris Paul whether he wanted to win a championship.
You gonna kick him?
Go ask Charles Barkley. Go ask Patrick Ewing. I'll just go on and on and on about all these great players who would die to have a championship. And guess what you did? When people told you were foolish and you were dumb and all these other words, that because you decided to stay in Milwaukee and you wanted to do your own thing and not NOT, follow the crowd, I admired you. I praised you. I thought to myself, thank God he's not cut from the same cloth that these other lemons are. Lemmings. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But instead, here you are when the tough gets going. Now you're ready to bail on Milwaukee. And Giannis, I have just one thing to say to you.
What's that?
I hope you find happiness wherever it is that you want to go. But every night, I'll say to myself before I go to sleep, I hope Giannis never wins another championship. That's where I am today.
Listen, I knew this was coming. You know, we talked about this during the offseason, Rob, and I knew this was coming because I knew Giannis, he talks about it. I want to win multiple. I want to win the multiple. When they say one championship, that's good. It's not good enough for me. Like, he wants to be considered one of the all-time greats who have multiple championships. And we'll talk a little bit later on my thoughts a little bit more about him. But right now, organizationally, to me, this is one of those times where it can have been a clean split last season. They could have found that. They obviously reports that the only team that was really in the works was the Knicks. There was conversations there, but they couldn't really find a way to make that happen because he's been there all of these years. You would agree. That's why you loved him. Blood, sweat, tears. Got them a championship to a team and an organization that generally doesn't. And at a certain point, if he felt it was time to leave, he is the superstar to me that could have had the clean cut. Could have said, you know what, I tried my best. We had a great run. I'm ready to just move on. It's best for both parties. And they could have done that amicably and moved on. But the string it along, I don't want to leave. Oh, I do want to leave. Putting pressure on the organization. They're not putting pressure on the organization. There are reports about the Knicks. Then now this new report that they're going to have a conversation. To me, just leave. If you're going to leave, if you're going to stay. Stop tiptoeing around it because this is where it gets messy. This is where fans who might have said, you know what? I have no issue. He gave us his all for 12 years. He can move on. Now it gets weird. Mixed messages. I'm staying. I'm leaving. I'm going. I'm staying. I don't want to leave. And this is where it can get bad. Rip the Band-Aid off and go on about your business. If it's time to go, it's time to go, as you said, then it's time to go. It gets weird. It gets murky. It's gonna get ugly. He's gonna end up leaving where Milwaukee fans hate him. Where he's one of the rare superstars to me who could have parted ways and had been like, you know what?
And they should hate him. They should burn his jersey. They should do all that other craziness that fans do and say, get lost. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Because I really believed he was a different cat and he walked to his own beat. But ultimately, he caved.
Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. Shout out to everybody watching us live on YouTube right now. Appreciate it as always. Just search Odd Couple FSR. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff as well. We appreciate it all. All right, on the way, on the other side of trending, we got TJ Houshmandzadeh. Looking forward to seeing what he has to say about some of these NFL headlines right now. 877-99 on Fox. We'll take some calls quickly. Caleb Williams, is he the weakest link for the Chicago Bears? 877-99 on Fox. Let's take some calls. Rob, who we got?
Harold in Chicago. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Harold?
What's up, guys? 9th-time caller, long-time listener. I'm going to stop at 10, but I'm announcing it every
He's keeping track.
Well, we appreciate you, my man, and the support. We do.
Appreciate you guys. Kelvin, you are crazy. How is Caleb the weakest link on the Bears? We give up like 30 points a game. Like we can't. Every game ends like 26-25. Caleb is half the reason we're winning. Does he need to improve? Absolutely. But is he the weakest link? He's far from the weakest link. There's like 10 things that are weaker than Caleb on the Bears right now. And Caleb is, I wouldn't call Caleb a weak link. I'd call Caleb a second-year quarterback that's developing fine, which is all we asked for. But we're ahead of schedule given our record. But that's it.
All right, I'm with you.
Appreciate
Harold,
you.
I think you're spot on there. Mike in Peoria, Illinois. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Mike?
Oh, great to be back with you.
Yes.
Two-time LeVar Trasher, every night listener.
Love it. Go ahead, my man.
Catching strays.
Hey, just like the caller in front of me said, Caleb Williams is not the weakest link. The weakest link by far on the Chicago Bears is the defensive front. 25th in sacks. After the Bears tied the game up at 21, you got to get a stop.
Thank you.
You got to get pressure on the quarterback. You can't let them go up 28-21. Maybe a field goal. And then you come down and win the game or send it into overtime or whatever. But the Bears have no presence on the defensive front. Give me a Chris Jones type of animal on the front line. Give me something on the defensive front. That's the weakest link. Just ask Joe Flacco how hard it was to put up 470 yards against the Bears or whatever he did. Come on. Kelvin.
Here's my response to you. Here's my response to you.
Thank you. There
Here's
you go.
my response. They are leading the league in takeaways. They have 27. They're 4 more than any other team. I'm not acting like they're the 03 Bucks or some Ravens. We know that. But they absolutely have the takeaways, and I talked about this the other day. They give him a chance. They
Total
continuously
defense,
give him a
bottom
chance.
10. Those are your stats. Total,
Right, but if
those,
I'm
those
giving
are
you
facts,
the ball,
not feelings. No.
Facts are what I'm saying too.
No,
they're giving him the ball.
No,
takeaways give you the ball back.
But they also once he got them tied, what happened? They went. The Packers got the ball, went right downfield and scored. That's exactly why he tied the game in Green Bay.
I'm not saying they're the Bucks, Rob. I'm not sitting there saying they're the greatest defense ever. What I'm saying is if I give you
bottom
4
10.
more takeaways than anybody else,
4, is
that's
that
a
it?
lot of opportunity. 4 than any other team? That's huge.
Barb in Illinois, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Barb?
Hey, Barb.
How you doing?
Great. How are you?
I'm good. It's cold here though, and a lot of snow.
Can I say this, Barb? And I mean this on the song tip. Baby, it's cold outside because I was in Detroit and New York this past week, and it was
I know
cold.
you were. And what happened? Who won there? It was great.
All right.
yeah.
Barb, don't hurt me now with that, okay? Barb, don't hurt me, Barb. Come on.
Shout out to Barb.
The Bears are so improved this year. I'll tell you, I am not a Bear fan. I am a Packer fan. But I will admit, Caleb has improved. And yesterday, people aren't going to like this. Ben Johnson was the weakest link.
Wow. Go ahead, Barb. Give us why you think
Yeah.
so. I want to hear this.
He just made some calls that just didn't go over. I mean, you guys watched the game, right?
Yep.
Okay. What happened in the last few seconds of the game? Who was wide open and who did Caleb miss?
I didn't see it. to be
I remember
honest.
exactly
Yeah,
who
was it?
But go ahead, Barb.
No, I'm listening to you. Go ahead. Sorry for my voice. I got a cold here.
It's all good. All right.
We appreciate.
Well, thanks for the call, Barb.
Thank you, Barb. You can have a cold. It's cold out there. Get better, Barb. We appreciate you listening.
One last call. Drew in New Jersey. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Drew? How are you?
Hey, guys. I think that we've kind of seen this from a Bears quarterback recently. Does everyone remember year 2 of Mitchell Trubisky when they brought in the coach and then they revamped the offense and he had a good year? I see Caleb Williams as the Karl Anthony Towns of the NBA, always leaving you wanting more. He has all the tools, but just for some reason he can't put it together. And I mean, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I think that he will never be a top 5 quarterback, but I think there's some years where he's maybe top 10, which Karl Anthony Towns.
All right. That's not a crazy comparison. They almost look alike, too. I'm not mad at that. I get what you're saying right there.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate the call. All right, other side of training, again, we will have our man, TJ Houshmandzadeh, join us to talk some of these NFL headlines. Right now, USC Chris Perfett.
All right, Monday Night Football is underway. Chargers are first on the board. Los Angeles marched down the field thanks to a 60-yard pass to Kamani Vidal, setting up the Chargers in the red zone, and a 4-yard receiving touchdown for Omarion Hampton, who was just activated today from the injured reserve, just earlier and made active for this game. So welcome back, Omarion. By the way, all these touchdowns and big plays are apparently Sully on this Monsters broadcast. I'm very confused. I'm getting too old. According to Adam Schefter, Tuesday will see a retired legend try to mount a comeback. The Colts will host Phillip Rivers for a tryout. Rivers is 44, hasn't played in 5 years, but the only healthy quarterback on the Colts roster right now is Brett Rypien. Daniel Jones suffered the season-ending Achilles tear on Sunday. Riley Leonard came into relief, is now dealing with a week-to-week knee issue. And, of course, Anthony Richardson is still on injured reserve with an orbital fracture. So there's only one healthy quarterback, and he's currently on the practice squad. So, yeah, Kelvin, it's very tight and very desperate in Indy after
gotta be
after a very strong start, very hopeful start to the season. Things went south real quick. Heisman finalists have been announced. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt's Diego Pavia, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin are the field. We will see in a few weeks who takes home the trophy. And on Monday, Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosted veteran linebacker Jason Pierre-Paul for a tryout. Afterwards, signed him to the practice squad. Orlando Magic's Desmond Bain has been fined $35,000 for throwing a ball at Knicks forward OG Anunoby on Sunday in an unsportsmanlike manner when Anunoby was laying on the ground after a tough charge. Currently, right now in the NBA, it is 29-23 San Antonio over the New Orleans Pelicans. Back to you guys.
All right, Chris, appreciate you, man. Odd Couple Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday, joined by our guy, as always, TJ Houshmandzadeh, former Pro Bowl wide receiver, co-host of Up on Game on Fox Sports Radio. Hoosh, what up, brother?
Y'all doing, man? How y'all been?
We're good. How you?
Doing good, man.
Oh, I can't complain. Can't complain one bit.
Better than Patrick Mahomes, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. You know, they struggling a bit. They're struggling a bit.
Come on, Hoosh, let's do this. His last 4 games, 1 touchdown, 6 interceptions, and you could talk about it all. The receivers. Come on, dude. Why? You're a receiver. You're a former receiver. You know what I'm talking about. If a receiver drops one, it's about you hurting the quarterback. How many times did you save quarterbacks with a great catch? Some of those balls that Mahomes threw weren't great. They were behind the receivers. I hate it.
It goes hand in hand.
Am I right? Come on, Hoosh.
It goes hand in hand. Like, there's going to be certain times where there's bad balls and you make a great play on it. And there's going to be other times where you drop a ball. It happens. But I've never seen 14 he completed under 50% of his passes. Mm-hmm. For Pat Mahomes, that is unheard of.
His numbers are ridiculously bad. And Hoosh, I just sent you the video because I was hoping you could see it before you came on. I'm saying the reason that they're not making the playoffs is because of Patrick Mahomes. 100%. Everybody claimed when they got his receivers back, right? Oh, Rice and Worthy, right? Oh, he's going to be right. He's going to be in the MVP race. He's going to get them to the Super Bowl if he gets his receivers back. That's what I was told. He has the 7th best defense, and he has Andy Reid as a coach. And his numbers are bad. They're offensively awful, and that's why they are where they are, which is under 500.
It's been a huge struggle for the Chiefs. And we're not used to seeing it. That's the thing. We're just not used to seeing this from Kansas City. Not with Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid, calling the shots, so to speak. We just haven't seen.
How shocked were you that they went for it on their own 31? It's a one-score game. The Texans didn't do anything in the second half. Why was he compelled to feel like they couldn't beat the Texans offensively, that they had to go for it in that situation? Were you shocked?
I was shocked, and that shows me he felt like the pressure was on. The pressure was on, and so he felt like, I don't have a choice, really.
That's crazy.
He felt like he didn't have a choice. Very simple. He felt like he didn't have a choice, and so he did that.
Yeah,
That's
TJ,
it.
go ahead. Yeah, Rob, real quick, you keep saying he's like 1-6. He has 5 touchdowns. He had 4 on Thanksgiving. I don't know where you keep getting that number from, by the way. I don't get that part. TJ, let me go to some other guys. We got the Ravens lose a big one to the Steelers. We'll talk about it a little bit more as far as the actual the play at the end there. But what do you do now with the Ravens? They're still in the hunt because that division is so poorly right now. But what is up with Lamar? Everybody kind of thought they'd come back. They righted the ship for a handful of games. Now they look bad. What do you make of the Ravens as we have a handful of games left to end this season?
When you look at Baltimore, it's like, how are they losing with at least the team that we thought was going to contend for a Super Bowl? Defensively, they're not playing great on offense. They're not running the ball, obviously not throwing the ball well. It's just been a complete struggle for the Ravens all year. Let's just call it for what it is. They've struggled all year long, and you think because of Lamar Jackson, because of Harbaugh, they're going to turn it around, and it just doesn't look like that's possible. It doesn't look possible at all. And so for the first time in a long time, we are going to see the AFC look a lot different, right? And so that's a good thing. It's a good thing.
Is Lamar hurt, though? Is he hurt? What are we watching here, TJ? You watch him. Is he hurt?
Not. No, I can't.
No,
I can't say that he's hurt.
I'm asking. I'm just asking because he looks. And the other one is the touchdown at the end. How is that not a touchdown? What am I missing? So I could touch the pylon, I could break the plane, but if I'm a receiver and I catch the ball and take 2.5 steps. And then the guy strips the ball or knocks it down, it's not a touchdown? I'm asking.
I think anybody watching football, anybody associated with football.
That's a touchdown.
We all thought that's a touchdown.
Wow.
The commentators thought it was a touchdown.
I'm going to say everybody thought, like, how is that not a touchdown? More like, how do you not call that a touchdown? It should be the question, right? I thought it was a touchdown. The fact that it wasn't called a touchdown is somewhat mind-boggling to me, if you ask me. Clear. You catch it, you're trying to keep it away from the defender, you get 2 feet down, touchdown. But the official saw otherwise, and what can you do?
Yeah, I don't understand that one right there. I don't know. You got to do the Cupid shuffle in the end zone. 2 steps ain't it no more. We're on TJ Houshmandzadeh on with the odd couple, Rob and Kelvin on a Magic City Monday. I want to go to the game we're watching right now. The Eagles just scored to make it 7-3. The Chargers are up. Rob and I both agree that they have to have this win. It's not that their season's over, but they want to get back on the right side of things. Been struggling lately. And then, boom, right off the bat, the Chargers go down and get a touchdown. What do you make of the Eagles season and the struggles? Like, how do you right the ship for them? It's been a strange season the entire season.
It's when you look at the Eagles team, Super Bowl winner last year, pretty much the same exact team coming back. And the one constant or the one difference that isn't coming back was offensive coordinator Kellen Moore. And so you have to put this on Kevin Patullo. He is the new guy. And the new guy hasn't done his job, so to speak. Yeah, you're on staff, but you're the new guy as far as calling plays. He hasn't done his job. And people can say, oh, Jalen Hurts did well with Kellen Moore. And so
he was a Super Bowl MVP.
This has to fall on Kevin Patullo. And think about this. if I'm Nick Sirianni and we're struggling like this and I'm an offensive guy, hey, Kev, you my guy, but I got this. I'm taking over. That's what I'm doing. I'm not going to keep letting you take this criticism. I'm going to take over and see if we can right the ship. The fact that he hasn't done that is kind of like, to me.
How about the Indianapolis Colts? I mean, Phillip Rivers really is getting a tryout. Was Joe Namath not available? Come on. Seriously. TJ, is there no other quarterback who played major college football who's sitting at home or sitting on the sidelines waiting for a phone call to get ready that they got to go to Phillip Rivers, who has to,
nominated for the Hall of Fame, Rob?
who has to get 15 babysitters to watch his kids in order to play? I don't get it.
Hey, they want a guy that they feel like can be comfortable. Has it been 4 or 5 years since he's last played? It's 4 or 5. I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the last time we saw him there in Indianapolis, it was a disaster. So what are we Are we thinking that he's gotten better 5 years, 4 or 5 years later? I don't get it.
It's risky business, but you know this. You know what happened. They called him. Hey, Phil, you've been thought, I've been slinging this thing, man. I'm ready to go. All right, we just going to confirm this by bringing you in for a workout. That's a tough situation if you're the Colts. But think about this, man. The Colts have a chance to get into the playoffs. They've struggled in previous years, and so they're doing what they can. And it just shows me, like Anthony Richardson, either he isn't coming back or they don't trust him to come back and help them. And so they like, hey, we got a chance to get in the playoffs. We got to exhaust all resources. So I don't fault them for it, but if Phillip Rivers...
But I'm just saying there's nobody else. There's nobody else is all I'm saying.
There's somebody else.
There's
but
nobody.
Anybody else you pick up right now, they not going to have the resume of a Phillip Rivers. Yeah. They at home for a reason. They at home for a reason.
Yeah, and Phillip Rivers is also his resume. He hadn't won anything. I get it. I get the numbers he's put up and the years he's played. I just don't understand. I didn't even know you were allowed to have a wheelchair on this field during the game.
Hey, Rob, man, I promise this is why you're so great at what you do, boy. You're so quick, you're so witty with it, man. If Phillip Rivers can just – all they need to – listen, if they can just win one game, they only need to really win one, maybe 2 games. They're in the playoffs.
Yeah, they don't have to win. Right.
Everybody that's chasing them, the Chiefs, the Dolphins, the Ravens, they just got to win one, maybe 2 games, and they are in the playoffs.
I agree with that. They're in a position that they don't need to win 3 games.
I'm still with you on that.
And the Colts, you need this playoffs. You need it.
They never wish they had a Jameis Winston so bad in their life right now. He would be the perfect person in this situation. Hey, we appreciate it, DJ. As always, my brother.
Hey, my man, thank you.
Man, y'all take care. Keep up the great work as always, fellas.
No doubt, man. That river ain't run dry, Rob. we both choked when we heard Phillip Rivers. What the world? We actually agree on something that happened from that game with the Ravens. We'll tell you what that is next. It's the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. The number was 1,297. If you say, what's that number? That is the consecutive games LeBron has scored in double digits, 10-plus points. And just a game or two ago, Rob was sitting here and we were talking about it. LeBron hit the 3, getting blown out by like 30, stays in enough to hit the 3 to get to double-digit points, and then he goes to 6 down.
He's the new stat pad foot.
This is one of those stat pad foots. And I said then, Rob G, no one cares about that stat, right? Sure. There are certain stats, and I even said, I don't mind legends, people who have earned it, sticking around, staying in the game to earn those types of big stats. What I meant was, to give you an example, I said if, Steph Curry, they look up in the game, they're either blowing a team out or getting blown out. But if Steve Kerr were to be like, hey, man, the all-time record's 13, you're sitting on 13, 1 more 3, you got the record, I'm all right. Because that is a big record, most threes in the game. Steph Curry's an all-time great. She was like, all right, cool. No one knows double-digit, points in a game. Like, no one actually knows that record, and no one uses that in an argument. Like, man, LeBron has the most consecutive 10 points. It's like, what? No one, like, you think of
That's
Kobe.
never come up in a debate.
You think of Michael Jordan as the greatest scorer of all time, him and Kareem, and you don't know either of their stats in that particular, number in that category. So LeBron keeping track of that. And after the game, LeBron, they asked him about it. Here's what he had to say.
Now that the streak has ended for you, what feelings did you have, if any, about it ended?
None. We won.
Stop it, LeBron. Stop it. I just mentioned, Rob G. Did I not mention just a couple of games ago he hit a 3 to get the record? Don't play with us, LeBron. I understand the win, and I do believe the win ultimately matters. I do that. But let's not act like the stat is insignificant when you just countered that point by hitting the 3 in a blowout loss, mind you, not a win. That was like, hey, at least we're up. We earned me to stay in. A loss, you stayed in and hit the 3. This is one of the areas where, of course, LeBron drives them crazy. The passive-aggressive, none, it doesn't matter. Ron, we know it matters. Now, I know he can't say that politically correct. He's got to answer the question, but that's absolutely a stat that he had because I believe, Rob G., for those who will never put him as he's better than Jordan, he's just accumulating feathers in his cap.
Sure.
All-time leading scorer, I thought Jordan was a better scorer. I thought you always say Kobe's a better scorer. I don't have that stat.
Right.
And I'm a pass-first guy. Obviously, rings, okay, I have more than him. I might not have more than him, but hey, look at these finals appearances. Hey, look at this. LeBron's going to have assist stats. So I believe he's saying, I'm going to accumulate so many things, including even playing with my son.
Sure.
That these are things that he can add to his feather cap. So his war chest at the end of his career, he can say, yeah, he might have more of that, those 6 rings, or he might have 5, Kobe, or whomever Kareem has 5. Look at what I have. So I absolutely believe, or 6 for Kareem. I absolutely believe those things matter to him. But I will say it was very LeBron-like that if he was going to lose the streak, to lose it in that way. Like making the play that you either love him for or hate him for. Why would you pass it to Kyle Korver in the corner for a 3 in the NBA Finals? You're LeBron. You got to shoot that. Other half, that's the right play. Kyle Korver, one of the greatest shooters ever, is open.
Wide open.
Wide open. So that is so the LeBron, juxtapose ideologies. You either too passive or not aggressive enough, or he's making the right play. But I thought the poetic justice of that is how he would end that streak that he did care about.
Yes, he did.
On that.
He was totally insulting our intelligence. That's what I don't like about LeBron sometimes. I mean, LeBron as a whole, in general, I think he's a really good guy. I think he's a great basketball player. And there's a lot of things about him that I do appreciate. One thing I'll never understand, aside from the passive-aggressive tweets and the social media when he's upset with his team, like that's a different conversation, is his insistence on lying about things that are so easily disproven. This is now in the top 3, okay? Number 1 for me is always going to be, well, when I was watching the night Kobe scored 81, I told my friends he was going to score 80 that night. No, you didn't. No, you did not. And that's a dumb thing to have to lie about, so I don't know why you would lie. Number 2, this is one that's probably
I want to hear this one. Let's hear this one.
My man showed up to multiple post-game press conferences.
I think I know where you're going.
With the Godfather book on the first page right there. That was my favorite book. I read it all the time. Well, what's something you took about it, or what's your favorite part of the book? And he could not name a single, because we know you didn't read it. Like why? Why would you go out of your way to set yourself up for that kind of thing? And now this one. Monday, we just saw you stay in a blowout game and get up, I think 3 shots. He made 2 of them to make sure he got to 10 points and immediately subbed himself out.
Whistle, come on down. Take me out, coach.
Bronny, I want to do the dap up with him because it's going to look cool for the social media when they say I got the points and then I left. We just saw you do that. Like there's there's video evidence of this happening. And then for you to say last night after the game, which was a great win for them, down Luka Doncic on the road.
They Against a Toronto team that's better than we thought.
And they did not play well at all on Monday. So for them to bounce back was big. And for you to say with a straight face, I didn't care. We won. When what you could have said, which was the God's honest truth, and nobody would have faulted you for saying this, is, yeah, it was a cool record to have, and I really enjoyed it. Like it's something that's, a feather in my cap. But in the grand scheme of things, us getting the win is more important. So, it would have been nice to continue the record, but I'm glad that if it's going to end, it's going to end with us winning the game.
Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday. Shout out to some name right, but I'm still riding it. Shout out to Hoosh, who just joined us, former Pro Bowl receiver, co-host of Up On Game on Fox Sports Radio, man. You can check out the podcast if you miss anything what Hoosh had to say. Rob G will have that up at the end of the show, as always. And every goal starts with an assist on and off the field. That's why Haleon and U.S. Soccer are launching for the assist, the celebration of everyday acts of support that help people achieve their goals with iconic brands like Sensodyne, Tums, Voltaren, Advil, and Centrum. So to learn more, go to HaleonAssist.com. Go check that out. Rob, you and I were just talking about it with Hoosh, man. It was it felt almost like that. You were probably covering it, of course, that Megatron catch with the Bears where everybody's like, oh, that's a touchdown, and they don't call it a catch.
No catch.
The Dez Bryant catch. You're so stupid. The Dez Bryant one where, everybody's like, oh, that's a catch. Like, no catch. It's the weirdest thing when your own eyes, all of us watching football our whole lives, and kind of universally, the commentators, everybody's like, oh, yeah, catch. Okay, what do they do now? Do they do this? You, like, move on because it's clearly a catch. And then they just, like, no catch, reviewing it. You're like, wait, what? Like that, I don't even understand. Like, he held it out so he couldn't get it. Took 2-3 steps. He finally knocks it out. But you see that happen all the time where defender's mad. You know what I mean? He kind of like knocks it out of his hand. So that was huge. That was a huge one right there. Huge mistake, in my opinion.
It's I don't know. I think the referees have stopped with just the logical eye test. I mean, he's taken 2 steps. Why can you hit the pylon, not be in bounds, right? Just hit the pylon, they score that. You break the plane. How many times do we see the ball get loose after they break the plane at the goal? I don't even understand it. Like that's good. He's clearly in the end zone. Step 1, 2.5, and now the guy reaches to knock the ball out, and they call that a no catch? I don't know how anybody at the NFL watching that, who's ever in charge of referees or league officials or whoever, can look at that and go, what are we doing? Like that cannot happen. It just doesn't make sense.
And especially, too, it wasn't like, you know how you see a receiver jump in the air, maybe land a couple, and but the defender's also going for the ball. And let's say he stripped it that way. He held it so far out, like almost like a na, like you couldn't get it. I was blown away. And then on top of that, the meaningfulness of that game, right? If you're Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. But this happens
to Lamar a lot. It's mind-boggling to me. Like
somebody's tight ends, man.
It's like, but it's always like some play. You know what I mean? Where you look at it. Even the game a couple weeks ago. Well, no, was it? Did they play
Thanksgiving. Lively lost the one again in the.
There were 2. There were 2 touchdowns that they had that came off the board or whatever in that game. I told Rob G earlier. It reminded me of when the Packers throw a touchdown. Who was that against? I just forgot. Was that against the
Seahawks one in the end zone? Yeah.
And they let him come down and let the guy wrestle the ball after he already landed down.
Right.
And he wrestled the ball out of it, and they gave the ball to Seattle.
The Hail Mary. Remember that? Yeah.
He caught the ball. He landed. The guy on the ground. Right. The guy's wrestling him on the ground for the ball. I was like, wow. I never saw that.
No, that was crazy. The Hail Mary. And this is after he had about 7 Hail Marys against the Lions in 2 years.
I saw one thrown 70 yards in Ford Field. I know.
The craziest thing about that throw, that was the most pinpoint accurate Hail Mary, meaning it didn't look like I'm just heaving it. It looked like he all right, boom, hit the corner like a real throw, not just a Hail Mary. That was when I was like, all right, this dude is beyond different. He might be, at that point for me, I was like, okay, he's on another level of just pure talent that we've seen in the NFL. But yeah, I thought it was a missed call to me. Recently, especially the last 2-3 weeks, there's been a handful of games, some really weird calls where commentators themselves are like, oh, that's a touchdown, or that's an interception, or that's whatever the play may be, and they've been overturning them. Some strange ones throughout the last handful of weeks, in my opinion. All right, on the other side, Josh Allen, it's time. We'll talk about it. Fox Sports Radio.
We are Fox Sports.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is.
Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
You finally said something right. Congratulations.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
You could take that trash somewhere else. Wham!
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
This team is unstoppable.
He made the right call.
You know that's right.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win. Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants some?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Monday Night Football, currently 7-3 Chargers over the Philadelphia Eagles. Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert getting his hand looked at on the sidelines. He had surgery earlier on for the hand, still playing here. The lone touchdown belongs to Omarion Hampton, the Chargers running back who was just activated off injured reserve earlier today. The Heisman finalists were announced for college football's biggest award. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love with 21 all-purpose touchdowns for the year. Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, who led the Hoosiers to the first ever undefeated season. Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sayin. According to Adam Schefter, Tuesday we'll see Philip Rivers, yes, that Philip Rivers, 44 years young, hasn't played in 5 years, in a tryout to join the Indianapolis Colts as a quarterback. Orlando Magic's Desmond Bain has been fined $35,000 for throwing a ball at Knicks forward OG Anunoby. I'm Chris Perfett.
I've been covering this league since 1987.
Can this sports writer and this sports fan share a radio show without driving each other crazy? Now, live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's Fox Sports Radio's Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
All right, hour number 3 on a Magic City Monday. Yes, it's an ABC Monday. You know what that stands for, Kelvin?
What that mean?
Anybody but the Chiefs. That's like from the Super Bowl last year. ABC.
Listen, you're right. There's a whole bunch of people that are excited about that. I get it. They've been, the team for the last better part of 7, 8 years or so. So, absolutely, there's a whole contingency of people who are excited about that.
There's no doubt.
You think the NFL is? Real question. Do you think the NFL is, like, you love it's like the Lakers or the Celtics?
No, I think they've had enough. I do.
Okay.
I think it's good to mix it around. Like, they had a run. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. Just curious.
I just think you want some different teams
the
once in a
Yankees,
while.
if you could have the Yankees,
yeah,
Dodgers
but even
year.
after a while, you got to be careful. You don't want them every year. When the Yankees had that run, you remember that when with Jeter and them.
Late 90s,
they won 3 in a row, 4 out of 5. You know what I mean?
Jeter.
Yeah, it was there. All right, Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Magic City Monday. And don't forget, with the iHeartRadio app, you can stream us wherever you happen to be. Just catch us and all the great Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app. Stream us live all day, every day. And be sure to select Fox Sports Radio on the preset like the old days. That's right, the preset on the iHeart app. So that will always pop up at the top of your screen. George Wrighster is coming up. I don't know. Has he said anything crazy lately? George
Let's see if he's gonna be
Wrongster
or Wrighster.
Yeah, we don't know.
He's got some hot takes on this college football playoff
Okay,
situation.
yeah.
We'll
Can't wait to hear from that.
Yeah, that's his bag right there. Yeah,
no
that's his
doubt.
bag.
Former NFL tight end and, of course, host of the Unafraid show on X. So we'll do that. We'll have a last call. Of course, this update on the football game. Still 7-3, correct? The Chargers,
at least as I last
7-3
looked.
over the Eagles. Kelvin and I both agree. Eagles just need a win. It's not like the sky's falling, but you don't want to lose because they've lost 3 in a row, right? I don't think they want to lose.
Listen,
you just want to win
right the
to get back
as you're
right.
going into the postseason. Absolutely, you want to get things going.
4 losses in a row would be amazing. It's kind of like that year. What was it after they went to the Super Bowl? Not the one that they when they went and lost. Remember they started out like 10-1, and then
that last stretch
they were brutal. They were brutal. So
yeah,
but okay, Rob G, you got YouTube stuff.
Yeah, Rob, great toss there. Appreciate it. I do got some YouTube stuff here to talk about.
What do you want me to say?
Before we get to this topic, they're coming in hot and heavy, the Odd Mob, the YouTubians. A lot of conversation stemming from that disagreement between y'all about Caleb Williams and the Bears.
What the street
Zach,
saying?
Florida, says Rob's not anti-Caleb because he looks Puerto Rican.
That's pretty funny.
DEA179 says, Kelvin, don't be soft. Yell back at that old man.
Oh, wow. Who said that?
Huey Freeman says,
DEA1829 or whatever.
Rob was right one time, and he's making sure the world knows about it. Shaking my head.
Whatever.
Infamous KCT says, Caleb's not playing well. They're winning in spite of him.
Okay.
Freezer Barbecue says,
YouTube.
damn, friendships are going to be lost over Caleb Williams.
There's no friendship will be lost. Please, they obviously didn't listen to the other show, right? Because me and Chris, we went at it all the time. And guess who showed up at my press box? Name it, Mr. Chris.
It's going to be real funny when we try
How
to
much
break
you pay
bread.
him, Rob?
I didn't pay him anything.
We try to break bread in the Bay for the Super Bowl, and then Kelvin's suddenly unavailable for any meal. It's going to be real hilarious.
Hey, no, what's going to happen, Rob G? It's going to be me and Chris Broussard. We probably going to jump him.
And this is my last one's my favorite. Constellar says, Barb, that caller we had there in last hour,
yep.
she don't know ball.
Oh, look.
Hey, you can't do Barb like that.
Don't do Barb like that.
Don't do Barb. Shout out to Barb.
Leave my boobala alone, Barb. You can call whenever you want.
So that was good.
Absolutely.
Mob, keep commenting. We'll read some more throughout the show. But moving forward,
real quick.
Yes.
Where were they on the Patrick Mahomes? Did you have stuff on there earlier?
we had
Like
some
what
good
size?
Patrick
Yeah,
Mahomes
I'm
at
just-
the top of the show.
Right.
You know, those came in so quick and so fast.
Just curious.
You know, just a few of them.
Yeah.
Alan says Chiefs need to reset year down year for the long-term health. I mean, that's not too crazy.
Okay.
Courtney Miller says, no, talking about Patrick Mahomes. He had them for 2 Super Bowls. The one they lost was to Tom Brady, talking about the Tyreek Hill dynamic.
Yeah.
And added later, you can't give a player all the praise when they win, and then when they lose, say it's everybody else's fault.
Now that's my thing, because Patrick doesn't always play well the whole game, but then he might come up with a big play or something. You know what I mean? And he gets all the credit. Oh my God, you know what I mean? And you can't just always, when things don't go right, you start pointing at everybody else and not Patrick.
Yep. And Cam Trail, just to close it off, says pretending like at least making the AFC Championship game every single year was sustainable is hilarious. It was always going to end at some point. It's just ending badly right now.
Yeah. Okay.
So, I mean, that's fair. Speaking of Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, if the season ended today, of the big 4 quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs would not be in the postseason. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens would not be in the postseason.
Even though as poorly as they played, they're only one game out of it.
They wouldn't be in it.
I know, I'm just saying. Is that still ridiculous?
That tells you how bad that division is.
still open.
Right. This is like the NFC South of yesteryear.
Yep.
And last but not least, Joe Burrow, again, he missed most of the year, but him and the Bengals would not be in it, which means of the Fantastic Four, the 4 horsemen, whatever you want to call it, the last of the Mohicans, the only quarterback standing in the AFC worth any salt is Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. He had a big win yesterday against the Bengals. Trailing by 10 in the 4th, he went full Superman once again, finished the game.
Did he win it or did Joe Burrow lose it?
I'm just saying he made the plays when he had to, including a 40-yard touchdown run, longest rushing touchdown by a quarterback in Bills history, and they had some good quarterbacks back in the day. 329 total yards, 4 total touchdowns, which means if the playoffs ended today, the only quarterbacks worth their salt historically standing in his way between a Super Bowl is a 78-year-old Aaron Rodgers and C.J. Stroud, who has 2 playoff wins, but let's be honest, has not been the C.J. Stroud of yesteryear for about 2 seasons. Dub, how much pressure is on Josh Allen right now heading into the postseason?
Josh Allen escapes a lot of pressure to me. Rob, maybe you feel me on this word, because he just, a lot of the conversation has been about Patrick Mahomes. A lot of conversation goes to, of course, Lamar Jackson, his failures in the postseason. Maybe some is about, Matthew Stafford the last handful of years. Now, of course, Jalen Hurts. Lose a Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl. And I feel like Josh Allen only kind of gets a lot of the praise for the most part. He's fantastic. He's spectacular, and he deserves the praise. But to me, the pressure now, because of all the way things just shook out, as Rob G mentioned, it now falls on his shoulders, right? The pressure, it usually Patrick Mahomes because he's the face of the league, so on and so forth. Or Lamar Jackson, you're so talented, but when will it result in, Super Bowl appearance? All of that to me is on Josh Allen now. You're the reigning Super Bowl MVP. You've got your same coach. You got your same system. MVP. You got your you got your same coach, you got your same system, same guys. So it's not like you're in some unfamiliar situation. You are in that same system, same place, same everything. To me, it falls on him because, Rob, there are some other teams that are really good, even in his own division. The Patriots, 11-2. Drake May, an MVP candidate. Looks like, some people 1 or 2, depending on where you put him and Matthew Stafford. You got other guys. We mentioned C.J. Stroud. Is this the real Trevor Lawrence that we're seeing? You got Bo Nix, so forth. You got Justin Herbert, who's playing right now. There are young guys that are coming. That's just in the AFC. Obviously, you got some of the NFC as well, or some of the old brigade as well. He has the most experience. This is his chance to follow up that MVP season and then go and get a Super Bowl MVP, get his team there. So to me, how it's all shook out, it's on him because there's no better window than now. Joe Burrow just showed you yesterday. A healthy Joe Burrow the last couple of weeks reminded you, oh, this is what I do. If I'm healthy, I'm up and running, I'm spectacular. Patrick Mahomes might come right back next year. We'll have to wait and see what they do over the offseason. Lamar Jackson should be right back to where he is last season as well. So you got these guys who are coming back, let alone the mix of the young guys in your own conference, not even bringing in the NFC. So this is the perfect opportunity for him being the elder statesman, aside from, of course, Aaron Rodgers, to go in there. You've got the experiences. You have an opportunity to finally get that ring because it's going to be so hard moving forward. And it's always hard to win a Super Bowl. We know that. So to me, the onus, the pressure, the eyeballs should be on him, as in it's yours. And we had a conversation in the NBA. It's not apples to apples, but similar how I felt the last few seasons for Antetokounmpo, Giannis, when it's like, dude, you're the best player in the conference. Conference is wide open. It's not just like a million teams you got to deal with. You should be able to get to the finals. That's how I feel with Josh Allen. You should be able to get to the Super Bowl and hopefully win one for you in the city and the team finally, because the pathway is there for the best player in probably football, let alone, left in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, I disagree. I think that they still have – you talked about it before, that he has to do so much in order for that team to win. That talks about the deficiencies that team has. Top 15 in scoring, so they're not like a juggernaut offensively. I'll give you the defense, top 10. No real receivers to talk about. Really going to – okay, so you got Cook. Let's focus in on him and Josh Allen, make sure they don't run wild and stop the passing game because there's nobody to really have to defend on. So I think that's where him having to be Superman makes it even tougher when you make those kind of Super Bowl runs or try to get there, because it is all about him. So I think that's a hard way to win when it just has to be you, and you have to get to beat the Bengals. You gotta rush for 40 yards, 40-yard touchdown run, and you gotta get 4 touchdowns in the game to win like that. Where's the help? I just think when you make a run, and you got to win that many games, and you have to be the focal point to all of them in order to win. You could do that in basketball probably, and even the great basketball players have a second guy. Michael needed Scottie. You gotta have somebody else. Kobe and Shaq, you need somebody else. And I don't know, is Cook it or not? Top 10 in defense helps. I'll give you that. Anytime you have a chance to win, teams that have top 10 defenses, we talk about Tom Brady all the time. You can talk about Tom Brady and he's the GOAT and all that. Go show me when he didn't have a top 5 defense when he won a Super Bowl.
And a great special teams, too.
Okay, right? And a Hall of Fame kicker when Adam Vinatieri gets in. If Adam Vinatieri misses 2 of those kicks, nobody's even talking about Tom Brady. I mean, that is how important Adam Vinatieri was to Tom Brady's legacy.
Without a doubt. No doubt. You already know. I completely agree with that. But again, I've been saying that about Josh Allen, where I've always talked about how they're too Josh Allen reliant. But the difference for me now, he was good enough and has been to get you where you need to be. He just couldn't get past the Chiefs, right? That was his Achilles heel. That was his kryptonite. That was his thing, the big boogeyman. And it looks like that boogeyman is gone. And it looks like another boogeyman who could had a potential, be a roadblock in your way. In Lamar Jackson, it looks like he's gone potentially. We'll have to see how it all falls out and shakes out. But I'm just looking at it as when you get up in there against some of these younger guys, if you're playing a Bo Nix, they have a very good defense. But Bo Nix, this will be he's still a young guy. Got to the postseason last year, but you should have that experience. You should be the best player in all of these games. You should be able to get it done. And I'm not saying it's foolproof. I'm saying this is the pathway. Like, this is the opportunity to better than any other one. That guy, Patrick Mahomes, that team, the Chiefs, are out of your way. You may not even have to play the Eagles like you would have had to run into last year had you gotten to the Super Bowl. So I'm not saying it's easy. What I'm saying is this has been your greatest path. You have to take this opportunity, by the horns and absolutely take full advantage of it. Because, again, it may not open up. If Joe Burrow comes back healthy and everything's going, if Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, all these guys in your own conference, Bo Nix and so on and so forth, that thing is loaded. And the young guns are coming. The Drake Mays, they're coming. This is that opportunity.
All right, 877-99 on Fox is the telephone number, 877-996-6369. How much pressure is on Josh Allen to finally get the Bills to the Super Bowl? We'll continue that conversation next with you. It is The Odd Couple, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, on a Magic City Monday, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Stick and stay.
America.
There you go. Here's something most doctors know that most men never talk about. Stress from work, money, doing a radio show every night, and family doesn't disappear at night. It follows you into the bedroom, and suddenly your mind won't let your body do what it used to do naturally. For moments like that, doctors look for treatments that help both the brain and the body. That's where Rugiet Ready comes in. Unlike Viagra or Cialis, Rugiet Ready is a next-generation prescription that helps prime your brain for arousal and increased blood flow. It uses 3 clinically proven ingredients in 1 mint that dissolves under your tongue so it absorbs fast. Most men are ready in about 15 minutes on average. Over 150,000 men have already switched. Visit Rugiet.com/FSR to get 15% off your first order. That's RUGIET.com/FSR. And I told you, Kelvin Washington, I told you, Odd Couple listeners, I told you, all you phony ex-players who are analysts on television, I told you. Patrick Mahomes has not been the same guy for years now, and people have continued to make excuses. Even last night, they're still making excuses. 14 for 33, 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, and you want to talk about, didn't you see the drops? All the drops? I thought when he got all of his wide receivers back, Kelvin, they were off and running. That's what your contention was, that it was because he didn't have his guys. All of his wide receivers are healthy and all playing. And guess what? The last 4 games when they needed him, 1 touchdown and 6 interceptions. Why can't we acknowledge, oh, did you see Kelsey? That wasn't a well-thrown ball. It was thrown behind him. He would have, if he made that catch, it would have been a great catch. I had the nerve to listen to Dan Orlovsky this morning talk about he's the greatest player on the planet. Since when? You mean the guy who didn't get 1 first-place MVP vote despite going 15-1 as a starter last year? Come on. You guys are living in the past. The Chiefs haven't been good. I know they went to the Super Bowl. I told you last year. They were lucky as sin, and it all caught up to them this year. I don't want to hear any excuses about Patrick Mahomes. He hasn't played well. Why can't we acknowledge that? Why can't everybody else? Always the excuses. Oh, Andy Reid went for it on 4th down on a 31-yard. Oh, Kelsey, the ball hit him. Oh, Rasheed Wright, he dropped the ball on 4th down. That's all I heard. Patrick Mahomes didn't make every throw either. Did you watch the game? Did you watch the highlights? He didn't make all the throws, and he hasn't been making the throws. This has been a process. That's why I said before the season that they wouldn't make the playoffs, not based on because some hate. Where's all the Chiefs Kingdom people who were on Twitter that I was a washed reporter and I'm a hater and I'm just looking for clicks? Where are all those guys when I tried to tell you? Yeah, I'm sure you can't find those guys today because they didn't want to hear it, and I get it. When you get into fandom, you can't look at stuff fairly and honestly because you become jaded and you think everything is everybody else's fault. The last thing for you, Kelvin, the reason the Chiefs aren't going to the playoffs, are you ready, is
Why?
Patrick Mahomes. Not the defense, which is 7th best in the NFL, not the receivers, not Andy Reid. It's Patrick Mahomes is to blame. He is the reason why the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs. And go to YouTube and go see the video I said a couple of weeks ago. That same thing. The reason the Chiefs won't make the playoffs will be because of Patrick Mahomes and the offense. And that's why they are where they are.
The Chiefs are playing bad football. There's no way around it. They're playing bad football as an offensive unit at times. They're playing that being out-coached. Andy Reid, probably for the first time in his life, has to admit that he has not been – he's been out-coached and he hasn't been coaching well. Patrick Mahomes is missing passes that he normally makes. Patrick Mahomes is forcing things. You got guys who are dropping balls that normally don't. So they look bad in totality without the defense withstanding. That might be the only unit that for the most part of this whole season has looked good. Couple things I don't agree with you on. Number one, I don't agree. If you're saying this season, I'm with you. But if you're saying including last year, I don't agree with that. Last year, and obviously we talked about it throughout the season. Last year, he was making those plays that would get them the win. He was making those third down conversions.
Why did he get an MVP vote? If he was making the plays that I'm using your words.
Yeah.
If he made the plays that helped them win go 15-1, why did he not get one first place MVP vote? Because you won't be able to answer it because what you're saying is illogical.
Sports Radio. Couple Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington on the Magic City Monday. We got George Wrighster, like Rob and I like to say, maybe Wrongster. We'll see what he has to say. He'll be joining us here in about 6 or 7 minutes. We'll talk some NFL. Plus, I know he has a lot to say on college football, the college football playoffs, Notre Dame, Miami, all that good stuff. We'll get to that. We got Last Call 2 coming up at the end of the hour.
Thanks, Danny Thomas.
Yeah, we'll get to that as well. All right, 877-99 on Fox. By the way, make sure you check out the podcast and the YouTube channel. The YouTube we're on right now, simulcasting. Just search Odd Couple FSR. Look us up. All you got to do is subscribe, like, share, comment away, thumbs up, all that good stuff. Rob G just read a bunch of the Odd Mob and YouTubians' comments. We appreciate you as always. All right, Rob, 877-99 on Fox.
And just subscribe to our show. I'm just saying, okay?
Oh, yeah, by the way, just to clarify, make sure they know. The reason why I said search Odd Couple, you got FSR, right? You know that's like the umbrella.
Right.
You got us, the Odd Couple. We got our own page, y'all, our own page. Shout out to everybody who is locked in with us. All right, I say Josh Allen. There's no greater, it seems to be, heavy on the quotation of seems because it's not easy to ever get to a Super Bowl, but an easier pathway. That boogeyman, that squad that keeps beating you is out. Lamar might be out. The Eagles don't look great as far as who you might have to beat in the Super Bowl. Who do you think this is Josh Allen's time? Best time to do so. 877-99 on Fox. All the pressure on him to get it done. Who we got?
Jerome in Charleston. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Jerome?
I'm not going to think any less of Josh Allen as an athlete or as a competitor if he doesn't win a Super Bowl. And anyone that thinks that he needs a Super Bowl to validate him, they don't know what the F they're talking about. Because it's about being a competitor, okay? You don't always win Super Bowls, okay? All you can do is go out and compete to your best ability, and if that's not good enough, then the hell with the people that criticize you. The guy's a legend. He's like a white Jordan, man. Come on, Jordan was like that. He never won anything until all these other guys around him started to play up to his level, okay? Josh Allen can only be accountable for one person, himself, all right? That's all you can do. Go out and do your best. If it ain't good enough, fine. You got to live with that sometimes.
Yes, that happened in Buffalo, right? I mean, they went to 4 straight Super Bowls, didn't win, and they live with it, right? Jim Kelly.
Barely living with it, though.
But I'm just saying, like that's not where trust me, Josh Allen doesn't want any part of that.
No, Josh Allen wants that ring. I hear what he's saying. At the end of your life, you're good, but Josh Allen wants that Super Bowl, and most quarterbacks.
Yeah, but I just don't think – I think it's harder to do – by yourself. I just think when you have to do when you're so committed to doing so many things, I just think it's really hard. You got to have football is so many guys. It's not basketball. 2 people is all you need in basketball, right?
But we've seen some teams get there before that on paper. If I'd have told you, you'd have been like, oh, really? Wow, I didn't see that coming. And he's been there knocking on that door. Again, stands for the Chiefs. Might have been there.
Orlando in El Paso. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. Are we back on good terms, Orlando, or not? What's the deal?
Hey, we're on great terms, Rob. I'm always on great terms with you, man.
Okay, I just
want to. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
Listen, I just want to say about Josh Allen. Listen, he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. I understand that it is a team sport, but I'm very concerned, and for Lamar as well, Rob, because Lamar's my guy, but I don't want to see these guys end up like Dan Marino. Not to say that that's a bad thing, but they would never win a Super Bowl. That would be just devastating to me for Lamar.
No. I agree. His talent is too big for him not to. But it can it can happen because years go by, and you could talk about Tom Brady. Tom Brady went 9 seasons without winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like they had the team, they had the coach, they had the defense. Right? They went to a couple Super Bowls, and they didn't win. Like, 9 years can go like that. Aaron Rodgers, they won in 2010, and the next thing you know, you look up, another 10 years has gone by. Like that, like it happens. Like that.
Yeah.
That is the scary part. Yeah.
No doubt. That's why I'm saying you got to take advantage, Rob.
No, I understand about taking advantage, but I don't think it's as easy as just, you know what I mean? Like the easiest path is always the way, because we talk about Orlando when the Packers won, they were the 6th seed. When Eli won his, they were 6th seed. It's not always.
I think Pittsburgh did that once,
right? Like you got to go on the road to win Orlando. It's not always the easiest path that you win the Super Bowl.
Right, but it helps when your nemesis, a.k.a. the Chiefs, are having a very bad year. They're not going to make it. Thank God for that. When the Chiefs lose, America wins. I'm just going to say that.
Just say all I want you, Orlando. Just say ABC.
ABC.
Anybody but Chiefs, and we're good, right? ABC.
Anybody but Chiefs. ABC. Anybody but Chiefs. Yeah,
well, he was sounding like he was part of the Jackson 6 the way he was ABC.
That's right.
So he was about to put a little rhythm on that.
All right.
Appreciate the calls, everybody.
Thanks, Orlando.
George, no doubt. George Wrighster on the other side of Trinity. Right now, we got Chris Perfett. USC Chris, I'm going to get you set. What's up, brother?
All right, guys, let's get you caught up on Monday Night Football right now. It's a bit of a brutal watch. Jalen Hurts has just been picked off for the 2nd time before the half. Also had a fumble by the Eagles, but now Herbert got the ball back.
And he fumbled.
He got strip sack fumbled by Nakobe Dean, so the ball is now back in the Eagles' hands. They're down 10-3 with about 3 minutes before the half. Saquon Barkley just hitting the gas for that first down there, so we'll see if they can maybe try to even this up before the half. According to Adam Schefter, Tuesday we'll see the return, maybe, of Phillip Rivers. 44 years young, hasn't played in 5 years, doesn't matter. He's going to try out for the Colts because their situation is rough. Their only healthy quarterback right now is on the practice squad, Brett Ripien. Heisman finalists were announced earlier on Monday. Notre Dame running back Jeremiah Love, Indiana quarterback Fernando Mendoza, Vanderbilt's Diego Pavia, and Ohio State's quarterback Julian Sayin. On Monday, also speaking of tryouts, another veteran showed up. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers hosted veteran linebacker Jason Pierre-Paul for a tryout. Afterwards, quickly signed him to the practice squad. Buccaneers kind of fighting for their life right now after that loss to the Saints. Yes, the Saints on Sunday. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers have defeated the Sacramento Kings 116-105. Third quarter, Spurs leading the Pelicans 83-74, and with the fourth quarter incoming, currently tied in Minnesota 84-84 between the Suns and Timberwolves. Back to the Odd Couple.
No doubt, Chris. Have a great night. Appreciate it.
Thank you. You too.
Odd Couple, Rob, Parker, Kelvin Washington on a Magic City Monday for over 40 years. Tire Rack has been helping customers find the right tires for how, for what, and for where they drive. Ship fast and free. Backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. TireRack.com. The way tire buying should be. Before we get to George, halftime, 2 minutes left in the Monday night football game. What the heck, Rob? Me and you sat up here all last season, depending on the subject. We talked about Saquon and the running game. What the heck happened to that portion of the Eagles? Like, okay, the passing, they're more running team. We're going to do this with it. Like, to not have either or be that dominant, you get what I'm saying? Like, well, they gave up on the run, or they don't run a lot because they're airing it out. Or, they're not passing a lot because Saquon is Saquoning like he did last year. That's the thing that's perplexing to me, is that neither one of those sides of the offensive game is really shining.
Yeah, I mean,
it's weird.
I just think that there's no way that Saquon was going to have the same season. So I don't think that was really the script. You know what I mean? But offensively, they have weapons. They just have to figure it out. And a part of it is a new play caller as well. I think people act like there's not an adjustment. That it's you know what I mean? If that's the case, then you wouldn't even need to hire anybody if you just keep doing what you were doing, And so there are wrinkles there, changes that are you have to implement your own style, what it is that you like to do and whatnot. So it's kind of crazy. I think that's what it is.
Dude, that's weird. I'm looking at Saquon, 740 yards, before this game. We haven't, added that yet. I take that back. That is included. 740 yards. I mean, he might not even get to 1,000 yards this season. 3.7 a carry. When you look at what he was doing last year, obviously, it's just insane. He had 2,005 yards, averaging 5 at 0.8, almost 16, 13 touchdowns. He only has 4 touchdowns right now. It's just remarkable, this season, what it's become for him. And like I said, the offense is, and it's not like also because Jalen Hurts is cutting it into the rushing. You know what I mean? He's not even running at the rate he usually does. So it is just a strange year for them, strange statistical offensive year for them as well. And it's going to be interesting to see how they finish the season too. Are they, because we've talked, actually, you just brought up some of those teams that were lower seeds historically. They got on some good runs, the Eagles. The Giants and the Steelers, they got on some good runs. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. Right now, joining us is our man, George Wrighster, former NFL tight end, host of the Unafraid Show, George Wrighster on X. George, what up, bro?
What up, man? What up?
And remember, we could call you Wrongster if you get wrong answers on here tonight. Okay, George?
Always Wrighster, never wrong.
Man, all right, so let's just go and talk about the whole Notre Dame and Miami, and just what do you make of how can they be ranked ahead of Miami the entire year, and then when it comes down to it, they get the okie doke at the end?
Okay, so in life, people will tell you it's not what you say, it's how you say it a lot of times, and the committee said it the wrong way. There was nothing. The reason why people are so upset about Notre Dame is because there was nothing that happened this weekend that led to them needing to be switched. However, they got to the right decision because they have a head-to-head. And people have wondered all year, how did they
So if they had a head-to-head, they didn't have a head-to-head this past weekend. They had a head-to-head all year, so they should have been ahead of them all year, George. If they had the head-to-head, why not?
Rob, because at a certain point in time, Notre Dame was still in the teens. They were creeping up the rankings, and then Miami lost 2 out of 3. So Miami was trending in the wrong direction. So that's how they got so far apart to begin with. You can't just, if you're going to keep a head-to-head logic, Florida should be in front of Texas.
No. I'm talking about, in this case, then it should have been the final ranking before they made the decision.
Correct.
That's what I'm talking about, because at that point, there was nothing that was going to change, right? So that's
what I'm saying, Rob.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you.
Okay.
Is that's why I said it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's where they presented it. If you were going to switch, so when they flipped Notre Dame and Alabama last week, I was like, oh, the committee is boxing Alabama in, because what they wanted to happen was they wanted BYU to beat Texas Tech, and then BYU get into the college football playoff, and then it would have bumped Notre Dame and Miami out. They couldn't have got in. And then that would have solved all of their problems, because it wouldn't have mattered whether Miami was in front of Notre Dame was in front of Miami, if they were both out of the college football playoff. But when BYU didn't win, then now when there are no more games and you're switching them, that feels fraudulent compared to if you had done it last Tuesday or the Tuesday prior.
Right. That's why people have issues, because there was no game to make that switch or change it as far as those two teams are concerned. So that's it.
100%.
Yep.
Hey, George Wrighster, our guest. Let me go here. You just mentioned BYU. So they lose, of course, to Texas Tech. They get smacked up 34-7. But so the question is, why did that loss for them hurt them? But then you got Alabama's SEC title game loss didn't. And a lot of people say, hey, a 3-team lost Alabama. What the heck they doing up in here? Make that make sense for a lot of people.
Okay. So the way Alabama lost, there should have been some penalty, even at least dropping one spot to number 10. But the issue is that they had already beaten Georgia, and they beat Georgia at home. So now with a loss in the SEC championship, you're saying, all right, hold on. They've already beat this team compared to BYU, who lost to Texas Tech twice. Now we can make an argument whether BYU should have been ranked higher initially, but the difference between those two games is that those two teams had already that Alabama and Georgia had split games compared to BYU and Texas Tech, where Texas Tech just beat up BYU 2 times in a row, 34-7 and 29-7.
I hear you, and I this is where it gets complicated. This is where folks are going to have issue, and this is where we're going to be sitting here having the same conversation again at some point about, Rob, we're going to be talking. Should we go to 16 games?
All right.
No. So I got a solution.
Okay.
I actually have a solution to this. First of all, is that there needs to be scheduling uniformity, because you can't have one conference playing 8 conference games, one playing 9, and the conferences are so big that sometimes you win the scheduling roulette. Like Texas A&M this year only played one team that was ranked in the top 8 of the SEC at the final rankings, only one, and they lost to them in Texas, but they're 11-1. So their conference schedule looks nothing like Alabama's or even Georgia's this season, and there's some disparity there. So what you do is you have the automatic qualifiers you have 3 from you go to 16 teams. You have 3 from the SEC, 3 from the Big 10, 2 from the Big 12, 2 from the ACC, and 1 group of 5, and then that leaves you 5 spots left. And now you're going to have the conference championship games, and then you're going to have play-in games, 3 versus 6 and 4 versus 5. So now you earn your way into the conference, into the playoffs, and it doesn't matter whether you won the scheduling roulette or not. You still got to get in there on your own merit.
All right, last thing. Did Indiana expose anything in Ohio State in that Big Ten title game?
I actually think that's funny that the narrative is, did Indiana expose Ohio State, instead of saying, oh, Indiana is for real, that Indiana made a statement, that maybe it's not anything about Ohio State, and it's a statement about how good Indiana is. Because this team, granted, they don't have as many 5-stars and 4-stars as Ohio State or Oregon, who they beat in Eugene, but there is something about having an irrational belief combined with NFL players and good scheme that you can beat people. Because Indiana believes in their heart that they cannot be beat. And then when you add that with they got 2 NFL wide receivers, they have a bona fide NFL quarterback, they got at least 1 NFL running back, and the defense is spectacular. And they're actually built upon the defensive platform and not even on the offense. Their offense is based upon efficiency, where their defense is just smothering.
Yeah, well, listen, this is where all the controversy comes. Maybe if you're the NCAA or some of these teams, you love it because everybody's still talking about it. We'll see how it all plays out. Hey, George, appreciate you as always, brother.
Thank you, George. And you know what? You were right tonight, my man.
He's Wrighster today.
Always Wrighster, never wrong.
There you go.
Hey, no doubt. Make sure you check out the host of, his show, The Unafraid Show. Give him a follow, George Wrighster on X as well. All right. Coming up, Rob, last call,
you know what? I gotta say this too.
Fox. What's that?
I'm getting old.
Oh, Lord. What you done did or didn't do?
Shekel City, I'm looking at the games. None of those games are tonight.
Where are you on that one, Elijah?
To Shekel City. The home base for Rob Parker's daily picks against the spread.
It's too late. I need Elijah because he would double check me.
Okay, I'm going to tonight's football games. I'm taking the Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah, you got to switch some things around here.
Oh, it's too late.
You know what it was, Rob?
Too late.
Can I tell you what it was?
What was it? I looked at it.
You were so excited about the Chiefs. You weren't thinking straight. You were just picking stuff, seeing games. You was picking games from last year.
No, I picked
games
like,
from next week.
Like, I looked at the schedule. I was like, it's a lot of games on a Monday night with football. Normally, I don't think about it.
Right.
And then I started to look at it. I was like, well, the Pelicans aren't supposed to be playing the Spurs tonight because I picked the Spurs over somebody else against the Lakers. You know when they played them?
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yep.
And I picked that as tonight. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry about that.
Told you.
All right.
It's so excited about that Chiefs. You ain't been thinking right.
I'm taking the Bengals tonight over Pittsburgh in a divisional matchup.
Even though they're not even playing. I know,
Not
right?
today, Rob. All right. Hey, last call. 877-99
you can rip me if you want. I'm sorry.
I was about to say, we'll do an early Trash Talking Tuesday if you want to get trash Rob. 877-99 on Fox. We'll do last call, plus get you updated on this Monday night game. The actual Monday night game, Rob. Eagles, Chargers. We'll do that. It's Fox Sports Radio. I thought we would be here. Rob and I, we talked about it, Rob, over the offseason just because the reports started to come out. What would happen? What do you do? And I thought this was going to happen because I thought you could see he's starting to put pressure on the team. He started to be vocal about things. And to something you always bring up, he kind of felt like he wasn't that guy. He kind of felt like, he was one of those guys who kind of just going to ride this thing out. But over the last 2-3 years, he's been louder. Right, he's been a little grumpier. He's been a little bit more. What are we doing? Where are we going? Which he's earned that right too, by the way.
Last year they had a chance to do that, and he didn't. And he said he didn't ask for a trade.
But he's been vocal about them. He's been vocal about where are we going? What's the direction? I want to win multiple. This isn't good enough.
You mean when he asked for Damian Lillard? Like when he asked for, and they traded away everything for Damian Lillard?
Yeah, so I'm saying he's become.
I don't understand this at all. To me, I just don't
understand
from the
what
standpoint of. I don't understand. Like they've made moves. They've done everything you could ask him. to do.
I'm with you. So
it's Milwaukee. It's Milwaukee.
That's what I'm saying. He
left to go to Miami 5 years ago. He didn't want to go.
But I'm saying to your point, one of the things that we've said, and I think most people would agree, is the Eastern Conference. It's been 20, 25 years, however long, of the Eastern Conference being the least between that and the lesser conference between the two. And to me, as good as Giannis is, 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, All NBA a million times. I mean, he's been that guy. He is first ballot Hall of Fame. When I look back, and we talked about this a bit before, Rob, I will say, especially post-championship, it has been strange for me and a bit disappointing to me that Giannis hasn't gotten back and just dominated the East. I'm not saying he had to win 3, 4, 5 rings. That's very difficult. And his team, he doesn't have the Warriors with KD and Steph. But the idea that he doesn't make it back, the idea that he's not regularly in the Eastern Conference Finals or regularly in have been to the finals multiple times has been a little underwhelming for how good, how great, how talented he is. I expected once
there are no other talented teams in the East. There are no injuries.
There's not really a bunch. As good as he is, there's not. That's literally why we call it the least. There's 1 or 2, but you can't tell me.
Miami's been to the finals a couple times. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. And nothing about those Miami
Indiana
teams.
made a run. It's not.
And not a single team you name made me look at Giannis where we think he is. He should not look at that as, well, I can't get past
So
them.
how come LeBron didn't go to the finals every year in the West when he showed up in LA?
In the East?
I mean, there were years they didn't even make the playoffs.
No,
I'm asking you.
Right, we're talking about the East. That's why I brought it up, because it's the easier conference. That specifically is my point, though, Rob.
I don't think it's as
he hasn't
easy as you make it
dominated
out
the
to
East.
be. I don't think that Giannis should be in the finals every year. I think that's a pipe dream. I just don't believe that Giannis,
how about
with
the
Chris
Eastern Conference
Middleton
Finals?
And the other players are there. But I still don't think he has to go to finals every year.
What I'm saying is, there's no way, Rob, that he is 30, 31 years old, putting up these numbers, still in his prime. And his team is, what are they, 9-13 or something. And the fact that he's that 3 first-round exits, he's gotten past the semis, that is underwhelming for this guy and how great he is. If I just blindly told you this guy's resume and that he's 30, 31 years old, still in his athletic
I would tell
prime,
you blindly that he won a championship in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That hadn't won a championship since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was Lou Alcindor. I mean,
so what do we stop? Do we just stop?
No, that doesn't mean you stop, but it tells you something. But your idea, I just think you have an unrealistic idea. I'm going to be honest, that you think everybody, like, you have to go to the finals or the championship every year, or the idea that Giannis can't get beat, or he hasn't played. There was a time when they lost to Miami where he didn't play as well as he had played and missed free throws or whatever. He won a championship there. I don't know what you expect.
I don't blow it away. I don't even know who you are
Giannis
right now.
to win 4 championships.
You're throwing crazy bail. You throwing some bail that I ain't never seen. You're a bail bondsman right now. Odd Couple on a Magic City Monday. It's Rob Park. Get it, Rob. Come on. What? Come on. Rest in peace, DMX. Come on.
I'm ready, man.
Yeah, man. Listen, you wasn't around back then if you ain't got a DMX story. You probably got one too, man. I got a DMX story. I'll tell Alex, remind me to tell my DMX story one day. Odd Couple on of course, Magic City Monday, playing some Christmas jingles throughout the holiday season as well. Shout out to DJ Ali Alex and also George Wrighster, who was Wrighster, not Wrongster today, for joining us a minute ago. And every goal starts with an assist on and off the field. That's why Haleon and U.S. Soccer are launching the Assist, a celebration of everyday acts of support that help people achieve their goals with iconic brands like Sensodyne, Tums, Voltaren, Advil, and Centrum. To learn more, go to HaleonAssist.com. Let's get to it. It's time for Last Call.
This is the last call.
Last call!
It's last call. Last call time on the Odd Couple.
Last call. You next.
All right, here we go. Last call.
Come on.
It's our friend Alice in Pittsburgh.
Hey.
Hey, Boobala, thanks for joining the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. I'm a woman.
How are you tonight?
We're doing
How are
great. I know you're doing great.
We're doing great.
After the Steelers won that big game against the Ravens.
Yay.
I am, but I'm still bummed out about Notre Dame.
Okay.
This is beating a dead horse. What I'm more upset about is not Miami jumping Notre Dame. I know they went probably by the head-to-head thing eventually, but they should have done it sooner.
Yes, Alice.
That's what people have a hard time with. Not wait until the last week like that, and then they jump Alabama ahead of Notre Dame. They did that intentionally just to get them in and get Notre Dame out.
Nah, I'm with you. I don't like that. Like, it didn't come off of a game or something where you could say, okay, yeah, we're going to switch the order. And they should have did it the week before, right? Or before that, so that everybody knew that we're going off of the head-to-head and Miami was ahead of them, right? And that's it. And then there's no argument.
It's weird to absolutely wait to the last second when nothing changed.
Right. Nothing changed. Alice, how cold is it in Pittsburgh? She hung up? Oh, we lost her. Okay.
It's Burr. You know it's cold.
Bye, Boobala. Thank you.
Hey, you get to that love because in a minute we're going to be thinking you call her, hey, boo. Bye, boo.
I said Boobala.
So I know. I'm just making sure you get to that blood real quick. I'm just saying, Alice going to be thinking, okay.
Rob G, people on YouTube ripping me or Kelvin. Who are they ripping today?
No, I mean, not too bad.
Okay.
I mean, you got a couple of them. Huey, again, big contributor to the Odd Mob. Rob, no rhythm, Parker.
What?
We'd love to see that. Clay,
you don't know. Don't let this gray hair fool you. I used to be out at the clubs in New York in my 20s.
What you mean used to? Rob G, what do you mean used to? He left us
for
the club in New Orleans.
He's still in the club.
Those are the undercover clubs, right?
Rob, Alex, that man gonna send us a picture of him hanging out. We had all the hotties, Shaq, and there. Hey guys, look, and we like, why you ain't tell us?
Clay G says, don't forget to subscribe to the Doug Gottlieb Show.
Do we have crickets? What happened to the crickets?
And last one.
I never missed a Doug Gottlieb show.
Arizona Ron says, Viagra, WTF, Rob. He's not a real listener because it's Rougiette. We're a Rougiette show.
It's Rougiette. Rougiette, right.
Rougiette.
Right.
Somebody,
when Rob's talking male erection, he's talking about Rougiette, not Viagra.
Oh, my goodness.
That's right.
Hey,
we're big on vitality on the show. You know what I mean?
got a tissue for me? Exactly.
Hold up.
Hey,
what you about to say, Rob?
I'm trying to help people out. That's all. Like, guys don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? It's not an old man's thing.
You're talking about it very comfortably.
Right?
You just assuming
Alex,
everybody got it. Hey, man, you're ED.
It's not an old man's thing. Young guys go experience it as well. So you might need some help. Think about it. That's all. It's like eating M&Ms.
How's everything going with your ED?
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon is coming up next.
I never miss your radio show. I never hear it, so I never miss it.
Did you hear that?